Lane.
Ichi, what is so goddamn important that you had to pull me away from my Starfield experience?
Well, I'm sorry that you've had your head up in space for the last probably 24 hours, but we have an episode to record, and it's a big, important one. 2 shows ended this week.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
All right. Well, we got everybody here.
Whole gang.
Bye.
I was like, don't all speak up at once.
Even me.
And Paul!
But yeah, it's a big episode, like you said, Ichi. Like, what are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to find that out after we cue the roll call.
Connect. Loading.
Broadcast.
Perfect! Show running super savant. Bluecaster, super Ichi.
Loud and online. Greycaster, Robolane.
Researcher of the Tokuverse. Ultracaster. Gar.
Spark of Courage, the Power of Dreams. Orange Caster, Global Soft Perka.
Respecting the source material, Greencaster. Senshi. Trauma Inducer, Northcaster, Saga.
Casting, criticism, comedy, chaos.
Radio Sentai Castranger.
On air!
Welcome, one and all, to episode 451 of Radio Sentai Castranger.
Scorpy!
It's episode Scorpy. How appropriate, he's an insect.
Yeah.
Skaroopy.
Scorpy.
It's a Himeno's friend.
No, it's pronounced as Skaroopy.
Yeah.
The
shoe god?
Yeah, that's funny, because that's what Himeno called God Scorpion.
Yeah.
Scorpy.
Yeah.
We're at a weird time.
So I wrote
And
that
then
on.
we have it's the Geats finale, and then we have like the mid-series, like the mid-season finale of
Finale?
King-Ohger.
Yeah, it's season 1 finale.
It's the season 1 finale.
Also, Ichi, you were telling me this earlier. This is the first time this has happened in a long time, you said?
Yeah, well, before we get into the specifics,
Like
what we're talking
ever, I
about, we are a gaggle of Ontario-based tokusatsu enthusiasts who get together every week to talk about Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, and usually a third thing, but not today.
Not today.
Today, a season ends. Today, a show ends. And today, another show reaches its halfway point, but also kind of ends. It's complicated, but we'll get into that in a sec. So, our topics for today...
Ichi, I don't... Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
Ichi, I don't understand. Is this a good ending or a bad ending?
You know, sometimes it's just an ending.
Oh.
But you know what's not ending? The news.
Yeah. Well...
No, it's...
We're not at the news yet. Okay.
Sorry.
This week, it's okay. It's a mess. I'm not sauced up enough, even though there was one in the opening. I need more drink.
Where the fuck is my drink?
You need to get lost in the Pepsi.
Yeah. All right. So, this is what we usually do whenever a show ends. Is instead of a feature topic, we talk about the show in general, our thoughts of it as a whole. So instead of a normal feature topic, this week, we were talking about King-Ohger episode 26, the Geats finale episode 49, and then we will have a nice little symposium about our thoughts on Kamen Rider Geats as a whole.
Yes, we have never done a feature topic when we've done a finale before. Except for way back when we first started, we don't count that.
Back before we really had any real idea of what we were doing.
Back before Sentai.
The Tokuger finale.
So our first year.
Feature topic: Kamen Rider Amazon.
Tonally disjointed. What does that mean?
Oh, we were so young.
I can't spell that.
So young.
All right, but yes, we have a full 6-man team here tonight for you to bring our thoughts on these very significant episodes. The 6 kings are here.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Emily's a king.
All right. Well, before we get into our episode discussion, we got a lot of news stories this week too, so let's get going on those.
Now.
I'm gonna go get a drink while you guys talk about news.
Okay.
Wow.
News.
Why? Don't you have opinions on news?
Not really.
No.
So
What are you getting in drink?
sorry, what was
He's
that?
gone.
Oh, he's gone.
I just said, what are you drinking? Just disappeared.
All right. Well, our first news story is the unsurprising announcement of a Kamen Rider Geats post-series V Cinema.
But Geats just finished.
That's the thing. Every time a show ends, no, it didn't, because there's a movie.
I'm just reminded of that Bender thing. We're gonna go get Geats, but we just had Geats.
And of course, this movie is where we are getting the debut of Buffa's long-awaited actual final form.
Cool.
It's pretty fucking sick, though.
So
That's really
if I
cool.
if
Is there
I
an image?
yes, it's in the
Yeah,
if you
click on
look
the
at the news links. If I've read people's discussion right, it sounds like this is a kit bash where the top is taken from Command and the bottom is taken from Monster. If I have read people's chats about this correct. So it's not even an original suit, it's a retool.
I mean, it's kind of
What even the thing that looks brand new, which is his giant fucking hand claw. The claw parts of it are cool, but the actual silvery hand part is taken from Game Deus's shield from Exade.
Wow.
Oh my god. The fact that people figure out all this is crazy. Just
there's the original.
Holy crap. I mean, it looks cool, I think. It looks like it's very bestial. It's more monstery, you know.
Yes. So the form that this is, it's called Plosion Rage.
That's what I call myself every night.
Wow.
I don't know why they took the X out of explosion.
Good guy, explosions.
I mean,
no, but it also, if you take the L out, it's poison.
Sure, but then why not that? Why not Poison Rage? It's not even spelled. Even if you do that, it's not spelled correctly. Then it's just Poison. Poison is spelled with the INS. The INS are switched.
No, it's Poisson.
No, that has two S's. Yeah, that's basically what the suit is taken from.
Oh my goodness.
I will say though, this confirms that the one dude who leaked all of their final forms with those weird drawings forever ago was 4 out of 4 correct.
So Paul, who did the chainsaws for hands better? This guy or Chainsaw Man?
Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man. 1000%.
Yep, there's the 4 drawings.
No.
I don't think I've ever seen this take on it though, where the fingers are chainsaws. That's kind of that's like a Freddy glove. That's funny.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, like Freddy Krueger, but even more overkill somehow.
Yeah. I really like the stars on the eyes. Those are cool.
Yeah, no, I mean it looks cool.
Like the stars of the stars of the stars.
He has stars on his eyes because he's had the stars in his eyes. He's been looking at Ace the whole show.
Quite you.
You might even call him Starstruck.
Oh.
You just secretly really loved Ace.
Is that a fleur-de-lis on his belt? Oh no, it's not. It's not.
Not really.
No.
But yeah, so
French.
the upcoming Geats Visa Next sequel movie, after the events of the TV series, the film will finally reveal the truth about the Jamato, whatever the fuck that means. Baroba, who is supposed to be defeated by Michinaga, appears. Aww, but she's supposed to be dead. A mysterious.
Weird.
They promised.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be surprised.
Baroba, she's supposed to be dead.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, weird.
Oh my god.
That's so good.
Like I said before, they promised she would be.
A mysterious ace, as we can see from Decker posting the image, a mysterious ace with white hair appears, seen with a new black and gold recolor of Geats 9.
Oh, there you go, Ichi.
I mean, we already had the black and blue one.
Fucking rad.
Well, which do you like more as an accent? Black and blue or black and gold?
If you honestly have to ask that question, you don't know me as well as I thought.
Black and black.
Yeah, that's a good boy.
Well done.
Okay, answer me this. Do you like black and gold?
I'm not opposed to it. I like the fucking Castle Zord.
I love black and gold as a
Thank you.
skin.
Good boy.
All right. Anyway, so the Plosion Rage buckle will be included in a special edition of the film's Blu-ray and DVD release. So oh boy, another super final form power-up that you have to buy a movie to get, just like Genmu Billion. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Everyone returning. Film is releasing spring 2024, and then will be available Blu-ray DVD July. They didn't even name the film. It's just the Geats v Senect. It's the next.
Oh, it doesn't have a... Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, well, they'll reveal the name at a later date. But yeah, Buffalo finally gets his goddamn final form, and it's not even in the actual series.
But it's fucking dope. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the buckle. The buckle's sick.
It is cool how like it's claws, and then when you activate it, they like clash and then open up. Yeah, very cool.
Buff is dope.
That's the next article is about the actual buckle. So yeah, included in this Visa Next of Geats Blu-ray DVD release. The Blu-ray version is 15,950 yen. The DVD version is 14,850 yen, and you can pre-order on Premium Bandai. Unsurprising. But yeah, if you look at the images in this, you can see how the hands look in their like non-henshin form, how they're like facing each other, and then when you activate the belt, they like open up, and the buffa head flips over the ID core.
Well, that is neat.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this means that yes, as Seven is saying, Nago is the only one whose final form is not a two-piece buckle with a face cover with a like new emblem over the middle. Alright, next news story. Speaking of Geats and buckles, they have announced a series of memorial raised buckles to mark the end of the series. And the first
they did the one thing with it that actually kind of tempted to buy it.
What's that?
So, you know how when Geats uses the Magnum buckle, he like spins the wheel, and then hits the trigger.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
So it makes like a spinning sound. So in the Desire driver, like the DX one with the DX Magnum, you can do it, but you have to kind of like, it's just kind of like out of nowhere. But this buckle lets you actually recreate that.
I know what you're talking about, because in the DX version of the Magnum raised buckle, both spinning the barrel and pulling the trigger technically activate the same function. Whichever one you do, the first time it will do the spin sound, and then every time after that will be the gun shooting sound. But this version, it's accurate. If you spin the thing, it'll make the spin sound, and if you pull the trigger, it'll do the trigger sound, regardless of the order you do them in.
That's cool.
That is actually a huge plus to it.
Also, they made the handles slightly bigger to be more accurate. So.
So it's like a lightning collection of the core buckles.
Kinda. But yeah, this is
it's a better quality toy version of the core buckles.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a memorial series.
Premium DX.
Yeah.
So yes, this is an updated version of Magnum and Boost, a brand new mold, increasing their size by about 130% compared to the DX version. Number of painting applications has been increased to 170%, giving it a luxurious feel.
Oh, it comes with Ace's coin. That's cool.
Is that meant to be?
Sorry?
Is that meant to be someone, like, specifically?
I don't know if it's supposed to be anyone specific. I think because they mentioned like original Ace was from like biblical times.
Oh, okay.
Because the whole like he reincarnated.
Roman times.
Roman times, because his dad was like a Roman warrior.
His dad was a gladiator, right?
So it's probably like a Caesar or something.
But
Let me see.
But I think he was actually born around the time of the crucifixion, though. But like born.
He did say he was playing the DGP for 2,000 years.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, he would have been there for like the Christian occupancy of Rome for a bunch of it. So yeah, I can. Yeah.
Modeled his career after actual Jesus.
You're gonna model life on anyone, I guess.
Yeah, literally.
I was thinking, like, when I don't know if this is a spoiler for the episode, but I was thinking if the stone buckle would be a premium Bandai thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put that out.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be hard to make, honestly.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would work. It would just be like a statue.
It'd probably be just like a statue.
Yeah.
So let's see. So more sound effects, enhancing the immersion, adjusted audio specifications, blah, 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 blah. Comes with dialogue lines from Ace, Keiwa, Neon, and Michinaga for some reason. Premium Bandai web exclusive, 7,700 yen, releasing in January. If you pre-order before August 29th, which is long past at the time of this recording, you get Ace's coin.
Well, fuck me.
Order now.
So wait, hold on. It says the dates on there that you could... Again, you had to pre-order between the 27th and the 29th. A 3-day period.
Yeah.
So random. Those 3 days.
Yep. So if you haven't pre-ordered already, fuck you.
Oh, Decker's pissed. Decker's pissed. Here come the capital letters.
Yep. Here come the capital letters.
There we go. No, I want the big all caps. Come on, Decker.
Use the hashtag.
Get angry. Are you sniffing what I'm shitting?
Alright.
And that better be made of real gold.
It doesn't say what it is, actually.
Pyrite
like
bullshit.
resin or something.
It's so really specific. Pyrite.
Pyrite is alright to me.
Wait, really? That's a pre-order bonus? Oh no!
All right, hold on. I don't see that image in the article.
Oh, I think it's for another. It's for another set.
It's for the next set.
Okay, next on our new story is memorial raise buckles of the other 3 riders. We have the ninja buckle, the beat buckle, and the zombie buckle. And of course, these ones are sized up too. Just taking a look through these images.
I was looking at those. Those look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look nice.
Alright, the ninja buckle, 150% sized, includes metallic pink gears, has lines from Keiwa, and I don't know if I mentioned it before, but these are all still compatible with the normal Desire driver. For the ninja buckle...
I was actually going to ask that.
Yeah.
I was going to ask because you said they're 150% sized.
Yeah, I think
do they fit into this...
The items are sized up, but the thing at the back that reads in the belt and attaches to it is still the same size.
So they're just closer to the prop size rather than just the shrunk down. Okay, cool. Okay. So if I want to get the buckles, I should probably get this set.
Probably.
If I do get a desired.
If you want the best version.
Yeah. That's what I would probably want.
Yeah, and then so for the ninja buckle, premium Bandai web exclusive, 3850 yen, releasing February of next year. Then for the beat buckle, I'm interested to see what they've done with this one, if anything else. Increase of painting, 240% more better paint applications, includes metallic blue in the body, has lines from Neon. Premium Bandai, 3630 yen, February. And then the zombie buckle. Oh, this one's cool. So with the original zombie buckle, you could twist the lever either way to get it to open. But one thing they changed with this version is it can only be turned the correct way.
Okay.
Nice.
More accurate.
Yeah. Deeper shade of purple. Some parts are metallic orange. Plays lines from Michinaga. Works with the Desire driver. Oh, so here it is. 3850 yen February release. Pre-orders, if you pre-order any of these before August 29th, again, between the 27th and 29th, you get the End Rider Core ID used by the End Riders in the last arc. Which is literally just a blank black ID core. So something we could get off Etsy right now for way cheaper.
Exactly. I could pull off my fucking Gracier sticker and bam!
But it's got a blank face. I want, me, now.
Would you like to roleplay as someone who had their head exploded with the snap of a finger?
Is that a trick question?
I always want to do that. That's my fetish.
Scanners,
you could when every convention sold Battle Royale colors.
Wow.
Like the same.
We're having a fun time in the chat here.
Yeah. They are angry.
Oh,
all right.
That's fan.
Are you? So we've spent this last little bit with the chat angry. How about we get me nice and angry? Because our next news story shows a bunch of figure arts that absolutely shouldn't exist.
Why?
We're getting SH figure arts of a bunch of non-main Geats riders in their entry forms. I see Ginpen and Kalo. I see probably Shiro and maybe Depan. Maybe one of them's Punk Jack. That middle one is fucking Nadge Sparrow.
Got married.
And that third one in the back, I can't fucking tell who it is. It might. I think that one and the front left one are Mary and Letter.
Yo, Letter's getting a figure? Good for her.
If I'm right, I don't know. Actually, no. The third one in the back is Groovy. It's one of the dogs. The shape of the ears.
God damn it.
Kamen Rider Groovy, the dog who was on shot for one episode for 10 seconds.
You're saying?
I was gonna say, can you imagine if two of them are? Can you imagine if two of them are secretly the designs for the rider designs that we never got to see from Neons to bodyguards?
Oh,
Ben and
Garen and Lancer?
And John,
yeah,
John and Ben.
It's like, yeah, just they casually drop them in this line of SH figure arts of fucking nobodies.
They deserve a goddamn B cinema.
Yeah.
Love that. That would be awesome.
I'm sure someone's gonna be very happy with these.
Well, good for them.
I think what it is, it's just going to be the heads.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the heads.
And then it's just gonna be like a headset.
Oh yeah, I can see them doing.
Have the entry body.
Literally just a pack of heads.
It's very
new. Because you can just buy the Geats. You can buy the Geats entry body and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because because they already know that all the armors except for Zombie is compatible with everyone else.
Yeah, so we don't have any other specifics aside from this one image of silhouettes.
Is this a troll though? Because why are I would understand these are lesser Kamen Riders in the show, but they're really upping this. See them soon.
Yeah.
Sort of, is this a troll? Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Not like they won't sell it, but just the advertising. I mean, why is it the Powerpuff Girl font?
I think
finish, like our finish.
I was just gonna say maybe it's because after so many years of just here's the title rider, here's his power up, here's secondary rider, that's it. Oh, I guess with Geats, since it's so easy, they can make figure arts of every rider.
Anyone can be a rider.
You say that, but where's my figure arts of Kamen Riders Baroba, Kekara, and Kyun?
So, you see, that's what I was gonna ask. Is it actually that weird that they're doing this? Because
no, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, it is because it's only title riders. If it's a one-off rider,
no. But here's the thing:
who gives a shit?
If these are full figures, then it is weird. If it's just a pack of head accessories, it's not that weird.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be a head pack accessory. They just wanted to tease the fact of everyone's probably gonna get figure art.
Don't these guys also all have the same bodies, basically?
Yes.
So that could be it's an easy mold.
Exactly.
Bandai probably made Geats that way so that they could do this.
Yeah, the suits were all designed to be modular and interchangeable, and the only difference is the headpiece and which buckle you choose to attach. That was the entire point. That's part of why Geats was so... I'll get into that later.
That's why I'm still waiting for my Ryuki renewal figure arts. They all share the same body mold. Where's my fucking Ryuki riders, damn it?
Speaking of, interesting thing on Twitter today, Little Karibo, who's been charmingly working his way through the Kamen Rider franchise, got his first piece of merchandise today, and it was a Kamen Rider Dragon Knight figure.
Ooh. Yeah, the Figma.
Oh. Yeah.
I need to watch that still.
Yes, you do.
That's the American one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It starts weird, but it gets
American
so
one.
good later.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so if this is just a pack of head pieces, cool. If these are full-on figures for each one of these riders, woefully undeserved.
But why is it the Powerpuff Girl font?
Go fuck yourself. I don't know, maybe... Oh, fuck. Craig McCracken really likes Kamen Rider.
Could you imagine a Kamen Rider show as if it was like a fucking Jendy Tartakovsky cartoon?
That'd be amazing.
I would love that. All right, next.
Nope.
This is one of the big news stories this week. We talked a bit about this last week, but now we have like the formal announcement of the villain group who are going to be our main antagonists for the second half of King-Ohger. As well as
honestly, sorry.
I was just going to say, as well as the formal confirmation that Kyoryuger is going to cross over with King-Ohger, because we can see a little tease of this new King Kyoryu Red form at the top of this poster.
Oh my god.
And honestly, I sort of want to go into this blind, so I'm just going to mute everyone so that I don't hear what you guys are talking about in terms of like the characters.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. Hey, that's fair. Guard likes to be surprised.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about him.
All right, so yes, we have our brand new villain faction. This is 2 years after the events of the previous episode. The Kings will face a new group led by the King of the Universe, Dagded Dujaldan.
That's a great name.
Not remembering that.
Voiced by Okay, the voice cast for these are fucking all-stars. The main villain, Dujaldan, is voiced by Akira Ishida, who is just one of the most prolific voice actors. He was in Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. He's been so many different characters, I don't even know where to start. Oh man, I love that voice, and I've enjoyed plenty of other characters by him, so I'm looking forward to hearing his performance here.
Because I want to see who he's played in shows I've watched.
So yeah, this is the full body shot of Dagded Dujaldan.
Are these toys?
No, these are the suits.
Oh.
All right.
He's got go back to him. Like, it's a very interesting look. Like, he looks almost like playing card themed. You get what I'm saying?
Well, he's a king.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
And I get what
like diamonds, hearts, and like.
I understand what you're saying, though. He does look like a playing card king.
Mm-hmm. But it says in this that he's king of insects.
Yeah, the article might be mistranslating. He calls himself the king of the universe because he comes from space.
Okay.
Oh, Emily. So he's voiced by Salbaro from Sergeant Frog. So.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Interesting.
But one of the weird.
I'm gonna look up the character. I'm blanking on. I know him from some stuff.
Oh, he's Gara. He's the voice of Gara.
Yeah.
Gara from Naruto.
There we go. He's had to have been in One Piece before. Come on.
Oh, he was Shun in Tribe 9. He was. That's where I know it. He's Kiyoshiro from Digimon Ghost Game.
Oh.
I knew I'd heard his voice recently.
I know.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that voice actor is amazing. I love him. So he is our new head villain.
Yoshiro's amazing. So.
Yeah, I didn't finish the show, but he is best character.
Oh, you know who else he was? In Digimon Adventure? Wizardmon.
Oh, he was Wizardmon too. That tracks. All right, and of course, joining our new evil villain faction is the previously existing Kamejimu. Spoiling that, of course, he survives the end of the pre-episode that we just watched.
This is tied to something I was talking to you about earlier, and something I mentioned earlier about this guy, like way earlier in the podcast. He looks not like Deathnarok, so this makes so much sense.
Yeah, he always seemed like he was different from everyone else.
Like, he never seemed bug-themed, but, like, he fits in with these guys perfectly.
Yeah, just like space weirdos.
Oh my god! No, you know what it is? He probably works for him. He was like getting the planet ready for him to invade and take over. So he was just like
he was never truly allied with Deathnarok.
No, yeah, I think it was like more of a just get the planet ready for us.
And I love that like his emblems on his helmet and staff have changed too.
My true loyalty.
It's just like in Beast Wars when they would switch sides, they'd like wave over their emblems and it would change.
I love that shit.
Yeah. And then next on our new villain roster is Goma Rosalia.
Or as I like to say, Samurai Daft Punk.
Voiced by Kazuhiro Yamaji, who no one else is going to know this, but the first thing I think of when I think of that voice is my favorite character from Grand Blue Fantasy, Ingwe. But he has also been in things like Kamen Rider Blade and Kira Major.
Oh, cool.
And then our token female villain.
Oh dear.
Hillbill Leech, which tracks because she's got fucking leeches on her head.
So maybe this one and the next one are actually Bugnaroks, because they actually have the bug names still.
Yeah, kind of. Voiced by...
who is she in Hunter?
Sorry?
Oh,
who is she in Hunter x Hunter?
Oh.
One at a time.
Sorry, Lane. You go ahead.
No, I was just saying Goma Rosalia's voice actor voiced Senior Pink in One Piece. That's all. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh.
I was just nerding out.
Okay.
What were you saying, Paul?
Oh, I'm looking at the article and it says voice someone in Hunter x Hunter.
And Lupin the Third. But
yes, that too.
Miyuki Sawashiro, another Grand Blue actor. She plays Catalina, one of the main characters. Let's see, who else does Miyuki...
oh, she's Catalina?
Yeah.
Oh,
she's Sinon in Sword Art Online. Let's see, who else? Blah, 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 blah. I know there were some other ones that I saw when I looked her up before.
Who is she in Digimon?
Actually, Gamamon
there you
in
go.
the same show.
There you go.
Oh, Gamamon is amazing.
Yeah, Sinon, Catalina. Let's see who else. Charlotte
Kurapika and Hunter x Hunter.
Charlotte Pudding in One Piece.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
She's Toko in Danganronpa. Oh!
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Wait a minute. So all this time, Gamamon and Toko Fukawa were voiced by the same person?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Wow, that is great.
Finally, to no one's goddamn surprise, the moth guy is voiced by our boy Tomokazu Seki.
Yes, the last of our new villains is Minosogan Moth, voiced by Tomokazu Seki.
That's pretty cool.
And he's gonna be a blast.
Look at his fucking hands.
So much.
Got these giant hands.
He's got moth hands.
He's got moths for hands.
Honestly, it looks like he's made of cigarettes.
He smokes.
No. They're those like Popeye cigarettes that we had as kids.
Yeah. Oh my god, this design is fucking crazy.
There's a lot going on. He's got broom.
Well, they gave him a crazy voice actor. So.
Yeah. All right.
Something moth themed. He certainly looks like a matchbook.
Right?
All right. Well, let's try to zoom through the rest of these stories because we have a lot of them.
Guys.
Oh,
is it a Moth Flame reference?
Maybe.
It might be.
I don't know.
Also, it might be implying the truth that Mothra is the most flammable of kaiju. But yeah.
Not untrue. I don't like that the emblem for their group is on this guy's suit as nipples that also look like creepy eyes.
Oh, yeah.
That's unsettling.
Gaze upon my eye nipples.
My nip eyes.
My eyes are up here. No, wait.
My eyes are down here. All right, and
there,
then...
And there.
And yeah, like we said, apparently in October, Kyoryu Red will be showing up with his new King Kyoryu form. I see a shoulder cape. I'm excited.
He's wearing white gloves. Wait a minute.
Yep. All right. Very, very cool. And we're going to move on to our next news story, which is also related, but the confirmation that we're getting a brand new Gabari Caliber, the King Gabari Caliber.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then also on the same note was the announcement of not only the King Gabari Caliber, but the re-release of the Kyoryujin Megazord, which they're referring to as
it's not re-release. It's a brand new mold.
Yeah, they refer to it as the full action version, and as per the rumors, this one is going to be compatible with the King-Ohger Megazord toy line. So it's going to be really interesting to see how these combine.
So it's a total, like, do you want to talk about the sword first, or do you want to talk about the Megazord first?
Whichever.
I personally would love to talk. Let's talk about the sword first, because I feel like that's more of a side thing, and also sort of reveals what's going to happen later down the line.
It's interesting that it's the sword and not the Gabba Revolver, or at least not yet.
Because here's my strange feeling that they're teasing this with a new Zudenchi. With how popular Kyoryuger is, and I've been saying it for years, we're probably going to get a Memorial Gabu revolver.
What? Yeah, so I'm showing this new Judenchi, which is the King-Ohger one, and it shows God Kuwagata like in amber. What I'm wondering is, does he access this new form by putting this Judenchi in the new King Gabri caliber? Does he maybe access this form without an actual Gabu revolver at all?
All I know is Rip Carnival form, because that's the helmet.
That is definitely the headpiece from Carnival form.
So maybe it's Carnival, and then when he uses the sword, he gains this like King-Ohger hybrid.
Just because he uses the same helmet doesn't mean the Carnival form is gone.
It's entirely possible it's just the only helmet they had.
Or they just wanted to use the cooler looking helmet.
Yeah.
All because it looks like a crown.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, yeah. I'd even say that's probably it.
Yeah.
The fry sticking out of his head.
Jokes aside, I do actually love how it is like an amber bug enclosed in the dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's fun.
This red Gabari caliber would match up with not only the Giga Gabu revolver, but the Kyoryuger Brave version of the Gabu revolver really well.
Oh, you're right. I actually like this color scheme.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a really nice shade of red.
Do you know what that looks like?
And the red and the black mesh together really fucking nice. Sorry, was someone saying
something?
I was saying, you know what that kind of looks like to me? Like, anyone know what a goblin shark is?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna post a picture, but yeah, that looks like a goblin shark. It's badass.
But yeah, so that's the sword. Comes with some stuff, and then this other image further down, we can see how the new Kyoryugen and the King-Ohger Megazord toy line interact and combine. We can see Kyoryugen with the Kamakiri and Hachi legs holding the Papillon and Tombo sword. Very interesting.
So one thing that's funny to me is the feet of Kyoryugen
are sticking out the back.
Yeah, they're sticking out the back of the arms, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
Wait, let me...
So while you guys were talking about the new villains, I sort of was going through these photos. For starters, kudos for Bandai to be able to basically pull a Hasbro with this of like, all right, this thing had a gimmick. How do we remove the gimmick and make this better? Because think of it, without the Zudenchi, you can make these things smaller, more compatible.
Yeah.
They're more fully articulated. I noticed, however, on Gabutira, the helmet used to be able to hide inside the tail.
And now it doesn't.
But now it doesn't.
It's
it
just sitting there on top of the back.
Side.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, there's some sacrifices to probably slim this down.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like the arms hanging?
No, like if you can see here, the little Megazord head is sticking out of the back of the dinosaur form. See right there.
Oh, okay.
When with the original, you used to be able to like tuck the head in so that it smoothed out the back, and then the helmet hid in the tail.
Yeah, the physical limitations of plastic, I suppose.
Yeah. Now, what I'm really... Sorry, go ahead.
And then it looks like, with the Zudenchi, you're supposed to insert it and it would activate the gimmick. But from how it looks, when you combine...
It doesn't look like it has a slot.
Gachi and Gira, when you insert them into Gabutira's arms, that's how you unlock the gimmicks.
Oh, yeah. Stuff pops out
so
when
that's
it
how you
attaches
get, like,
to the arm.
the drill stuff.
It's really awkward that they have the sword sticking out when the sword only shows up when all 5 of them are together, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Which, again, if this does well, because this isn't... Is this premium?
I'm not sure. But, like, the sword coming out of Stegochi was never Stegochi's basic gimmick. That was when they had all 5 of them together. Stegochi's basic gimmick was the plate and the spikes coming off and being used as a shield.
Right. So again, there are some sacrifices to this thing.
Yeah.
So I guess the shield gimmick's gone.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't look like the spikes
sword.
open up to become the shield anymore.
I would love to know.
And
go ahead, Gar.
oh, it was this. And it looks like they now gave him an ankle again, point at Hasbro. Each figure now needs to have an ankle pivot.
Yeah, I see that in this one. Now, what I'm interested to see is, so if this combines with with the King-Ohger mechs, I'm wondering if this could combine with the castle in some way.
Well,
you'll make it work.
Seeing the one photo, when you look at Kyoryugen's chest, you can tell they don't have plans for Bragiris. Yeah, Bragigas. Because where the clips used to be are now just painted over yellow.
Because here's what I'm thinking about the castle. Because like, if Kamakiri and Hachi attach to the feet of this thing, what's to stop me from attaching the God King-Ohger leg attachments in between them? You know what I mean?
Oh man, yeah.
Also, you have to think of this. Don't think of this as a Kyoryuger toy. Think of it as a King-Ohger toy.
True.
Oh no, I'm thinking of this as like
it can be both.
It has. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's like
it's weird and unprecedented.
It's like if some people are thinking of selling their Kyoryugen just to get this one.
Oh no, absolutely not.
There's going to be no electronics in this one, so
it won't do the sounds.
Yeah.
This is not a replacement. This is an accessory for King-Ohger toys.
This is basically what's the word I'm looking for? A happy medium. You want a Kyoryugen, but you can't afford it?
This is the Kyoryugen we have at home.
It's it's kind of
the
like
Bandai is the one we have at home.
No, the one that we have at home is the Chinese knockoff one.
Oh,
oof!
You mean the one from Brave?
Jim. No, Kyoryugen.
Kyoryugen. Wow. No, you know, it'd be funny if there was a monster of the week, Kyoryujimu.
I don't know. I see this and it just screams of like Transformers Legacy. We took the old toy, we made it brand new from scratch, and
we made it slightly shittier in exchange for making it more compatible.
Like now you can make dynamic poses out of it, but now it's sort of
shit.
It's lost its soul, but it's more posable.
Gabatir was a train.
Yep. I think I still have that.
I miss the Sentai. I miss these Sentai gimmicks. They're fun.
Why are you drawing a picture of a train?
All right, very cool. Moving on. Next, in terms of King-Ohger toy news, we have the announcement of the release of Tarantula Abyss, which debuted in this week's episode, which is basically just a reskin of Tarantula Knight.
But it's black and...
black.
I gotta say, this looks pretty cool, and this is exactly what people who wanted an Extreme King-Ohger Zero will need.
Yes.
It has a gold cicada!
And centipede. Which, honestly, the gold versions look like they would look better on the white Tarantula Knight, and the colored versions on Knight would look better on this one.
So you know what we gotta do.
Buy both
and swap.
You bastards! This was your plan all along!
They knew. Well, that's a good image of both of them together there.
Yeah, see, look, that's Extreme King-Ohger Zero with the Abyss as part of it.
The legs.
Look, it's Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So do you think this thing is going to actually be a thing more in the show then?
I hope. Well...
Or is this just
it's a CGI model, so I think it might just show up here.
I think it would be cool if Jeramie ended up commanding both of them. You know what I mean? Just as like a team of like brother shoe gods.
Oh, that'd be cool, actually. Listens to Linkin Park once.
Yep.
Cry! The shoe gods, they will not heal.
Yeah. All right, so
if you like the Tarantula Knight but with a darker shade of black, this is for you.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say clap your hands.
No, you know what you do?
If you're angsty and you know it, clap your hands.
You know what you do? You get this one and you like do some slight variations of the paint scheme, purple and green, and make it tarantulas.
I will say one thing this one doesn't do that the original Tarantula Knight did. I like that this one doesn't have the like cyan and pink on its like front limbs.
Yeah, it goes with the theme of gold and dark colors.
Yeah.
Looks cool. I thought it looked cool in the show, but we will talk about that later.
I hope we get to see this thing again, and I hope we get to see it transform and fight, because this looks like it would be awesome. So yeah, Premium Bandai, web exclusive, 11,550 yen, January release. Next news story, in terms of Fi's 20th anniversary news, they announced an actual complete selection modification of Fi's Driver Next, aka the smartphone belt.
Guys can't fucking
so
do
pretty.
that. You have to do DX first before you do complete selection modification.
Clearly they don't.
You're breaking the rules, Bandai.
Stop breaking the law, asshole!
We gotta make a DX. Watch, they're gonna do like a DX premium one.
Nah, I think this is like their way around it.
I think this is good because this shows their dedication that when they want to put this one out once and they want to put this one out correctly.
Never again.
I'm super curious what kind of actual functionality it's going to have.
Not a lot.
Probably not a terrible amount, but
it'll do one thing. It'll have all the voice quotes, the theme from the movie, and that's it. That's all it's gonna do.
Well, we'll see. They purposely didn't light the image very well, so you can't really make out a lot of specific detail. But
no,
yeah,
they're hyping this up.
Looks like we'll get more information on October 20th. And speaking of Fi's things, they also announced complete selection modification Fi's Edge, aka the bike handle lightsaber.
Oh my!
I'm gonna say this has been something I've been wanting for a very, very long time because I love the Fi's Edge. I will not get this because I don't have the money for it, but I'm just happy this exists.
I mean, I know it looks stupid.
I like it.
The bike handle.
You know what it honestly looks like in hindsight? I mean, obviously I believe this was first. It looks like the swords from Attack on Titan.
Oh, yeah, this was first.
Oh,
this is 2003.
Okay.
One thing for certain. Where's my CSM auto-vaging?
Right?
I was thinking that, Gar. I was thinking that.
Like a 1-to-1 freaking motorcycle.
Auto-vaging. Get into the action.
Hey, there it is. They did it already, I think? Oh, that was an April Fool's. Damn it!
Yeah, it was.
We were fooled.
I was like, wait, I remember hearing about it.
No, we need a figure arts renewal of fucking auto-vaging.
That was what I was also thinking. Or like, I know it's weird to say, but don't have it transform.
No, have it in robot mode.
Yeah, have one robot
But I
mode,
want
then
it
do
to
the bike on
transform.
its own. Then do you know what? Soul Shigoken auto-vaging.
There you go.
Oh,
But yeah, so
when's my Kaiser Blade happening?
the Kaiser Blade gun, could you imagine? So yes, the complete selection modification Fi's Edge, 82 centimeters in length to match the prop in the show.
Yeesh.
The grip is finely sculpted, some parts made of die-cast or aluminum. The blade part has 44 LED lights, which is twice as amount as the Kaiser Blade gun from the CSM Kaiser gear. So yeah, they did do the CSM Kaiser, the Blade gun. It comes with the mission memory, the clear version. You can also switch the item to dialogue mode. It has slashing sounds. It has features tied in.
Just one of the audio sound bits is this Takumi's actor going vroom vroom vroom.
Probably. It has features tied to the CSM Fi's Gear version 2 via wireless communication. You can activate the Sparkle Cut finisher with the signal sent from the Fi's Gear. This also goes the other direction. It transmits signals to the projector included in the CSM Fi's Gear version 2, so when you perform a finisher, the Phi mark will be projected. That's awesome.
I can't believe this is the DX one we got in 2003.
Yep.
That's so.
Also,
me and Ichi dubbed it the Phi snub.
The Phi snub. Yep. the Fi's like traffic baton.
There you go.
It also recognizes signal from the CSM Fi's Axle version 2. You can do multiple slashes during the 10-second countdown window, including the finisher.
There has to be like a Fi's super fan
that
who just has like this giant room dedicated to Fi's, and he just has all this shit.
I think that's you.
Please, I don't have the money for this shit.
Oh yeah, I know I wasn't here for last week to say it, but yeah, Wolf or that Orphanarch figure art,
the horse.
I'm getting it.
Nice.
Are you? Hey,
I'm going to get it.
Don't you be horsing around. I'll leave now.
Good.
Back in 2000, I was in a really Kamen Rider show.
Let's see. So if you don't have any of the CSM Fights Gear version 2 sets, you can still enjoy the finishers with the item's single play mode. The item comes with a decade mode, and if you switch into that mode, you can reproduce the slashing and finisher sounds of the Fi's Edge as seen in Decade? Were they that different?
I guess
when
so.
Decade used it.
I guess so.
Wow, that is a really weird feature.
They can't keep track of sound effects.
That's really weird.
All right, well, very cool. I'm happy this exists.
Premium Bandai web exclusive, 25,300 yen, February release.
Yeah, roughly $300. So
nope.
Very cool. Moving on.
I'm just gonna get an actual Force Effects lightsaber, thank you.
Right.
I'll just get a red lightsaber and pretend it's the Fi's Edge.
I already do that.
I have my Darth Vader lightsaber literally in my hallway. I can go get it if I wanted to.
Alright, next, in Gotchard news, we have the announcement of the Gotchan collection set, which looks like Gotchard's equivalent of Build's fucking full bottle Pandora box panels.
Yep.
Oh, okay. There's things like you can slot the card into.
Yeah.
A dual.
You can slot like 100 cards in this.
Well, at first glance, it looks like you can put 10 cards in it, but for all I know, you can put more. Maybe several in one slot. Oh, yeah, it says up to 100 cards can be stored in, so I guess you stack them. Oh.
Yeah, don't forget how cards are.
Yeah, okay, so I guess each slot is for a different category? Or you can sort them by number.
Yeah, there you go.
That's neat. Oh, and it folds up to close, like a carrying case. That's cool.
You can hang that on your wall, Ichi.
Oh boy, put it right next to my full bottles.
There you go.
Yeah, it comes with 2 Ride Chemi cards. The Sabo Needle, which combines with Hawkstar. It didn't say what the other card it comes with is, though.
Oh, it's a blank one.
Oh, or maybe it's either a blank one or they're just not showing what it is.
Time will
I think it just comes with a blank.
Yeah. Yeah, the other one's the blank one. But yeah, that's cool. If you plan on collecting a lot of Ride Chemi cards, there's a good way to hold on to them. If you plan on collecting the whole set.
You are, Decker. We know you are.
Let's see. So the item is 29.70 yen, October 14th release. That's a pretty good price.
For plastic, yes.
For just a plastic card case. But it holds 100 cards.
So you know it's good.
Speaking of something that holds cards, the Chemi Riser.
Cool.
It looks like a claw weapon that you put a card in. It looks like there's some sort of like display on the top part of it.
Anyone seen Blade 2?
Oh, it comes with like a separate card that has like a whole UI on it.
Ah.
That's cool. I kind of want that.
I kind of dig it, but it's like it's too simple.
It's gonna be like $45.
What is this meant to be like for? Is this like how he
So,
switches forms, or like...
This item is used to summon Chemi by using the Ride Chemi trading card. So it's like a hand weapon that he puts a card in and it summons the creature from within it.
Okay.
So it's literally a dual disc!
We got him.
I summon Hopper 1 in attack mode! Oh, man. That's crazy.
Train.
Oh, so it like attaches to the side of the belt.
Oh, so it's like an add-on. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like an add-on weapon.
That's cool. I like the toy of train there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like look, it's got actually a smokestack.
Yep.
I like you can clip it to the side of the belt. That's actually cool.
Yep.
To quote our friend Kevin, choo choo, motherfucker.
Pretty much.
A transparent orange.
That also happened to me in FF14 recently, actually. There's this one raid where sometimes at one point trains come at you, and if you're in front of them, you just get yoed off the edge. Someone revived me while they were standing on the wrong part of the floor where the trains were coming, so I couldn't move as I was revived, and just as I came out of invulnerability, wham!
El Smacko!
Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty cool. 3630 yen, October 14th release.
Neat.
I like this one.
You can enjoy special sounds when you load the Hopper 1 Ride Chemi card. It does recognize over 100 Ride Chemi trading cards individually. It includes two Ride Chemi trading cards, one of which is the Search card. That's the one with the UI on it. And when it's loaded, you can enjoy the Chemi Search feature. I wonder what that does in the driver, actually. And then if you insert the separately sold blank card, you can capture a Chemi. Oh, so this is how he captures cards! Like a card captor!
Card catcher!
Can't have anything original.
We're all
So we're ripping off Full Metal Alchemist, Card Captors, Pokemon. Am I missing
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! Am I missing anything?
Ichi, you know what you have to fucking do?
Huh?
You have to make lyrics for a Gotchard song using the English dub Card Captors.
Well, that's what we were all doing.
Each Chemi card has a power on its own.
I already did that with Blade.
Yeah, but that's Blade. It's Gotchard.
All right.
I'll have a rough
Gotchard then.
I'll have a rough draft by next week.
Collated for Daddy.
Gotcha, the alchemical doofus.
It's pretty good.
A card for
There's a first bar for you.
I gotta say, this riser thing is pretty cool. I'm a little tempted. I really like that search card.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get like the driver or anything, but I'm genuinely tempted by this too.
Can we just pull up the card just there, or no?
It comes with the Hawkstar card. I don't know if there's a bigger image of it.
It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so yes, that's the Chemi Riser. Next, we saw images of these in the previous article, but they, announced basically action figures of the first two Chemis, the creatures, Hopper 1 and Steamliner.
I love them.
They should make the pop one.
Oh, if they did, I would 100% buy it. Could you imagine if they did put out figures of all 100 Chemis?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
They did with Pokemon.
Yeah, it's literally their own Pokemon.
Gotta card them all.
Let's see. Figure features a gimmick. If you charge the main spring and set the plastic Ride Chemi trading card, the wings flap.
Yay.
Oh, so it comes with like a plastic Hopper 1 card, but that also works with the driver.
Okay.
1980 yen, October 21st release. Then we have the Steamliner one. If you charge the main spring and set the plastic card on it, the running and smoke gimmick will activate. So it'll just like blast forward and the smoke will go up and down.
Choo choo.
So it's like any toy car ever.
Yeah.
These scream Happy Meal.
Yep.
A little bit.
These are literally the Happy Meal versions.
These are Happy Meal toys.
Happiness is yelling, Gotchard.
Oh my god, imagine Japan and McDonald's did like a Gotchard Happy Meal toy line and it's got like a McDonald's fucking Chemi card. That'd be awesome. McDonald's!
There would be a Chemi called Mac Attack. Absolutely. Yeah.
They'd have like a whole separate McDonald's category of cards.
I just found out, by the way, that
Grimace is a Chemi card.
Oh god.
I just found out that in Japan, it's Donald McDonald.
What?
There's actually a
Wow.
Yeah, there's an actual precedent for this because there was an entire McDonald's category of Bionicle, and there was an entire McDonald's category of Crazy Bones as well.
Oh my god.
So that's happened.
Yep. Yep.
And yeah,
Absolutely
the smartphone Chemi is literally Morphtronic smartphone from Yu-Gi-Oh! All right. So yeah, both.
There's only one Ronald McDonald I care about.
Nice. So yeah, each of these are individually 1980 yen, releasing October 21st. Very cool. And unfortunately, our next news story is the return of Don Brothers.
Yay!
So remember that joke at the start of the show when they called themselves the Don Booties because it was a language joke?
Yep.
Yeah, turns out that is now actually going to be a thing in the vein of, like, Go Busters crossing over with an alternate universe Go Busters, but now it's Don Brothers versus Don Booties.
I see.
Oh my gosh.
There's gonna be an enemy in this special called Mr. A la carte.
That's amazing.
Mr. A la carte.
Yeah, because it's an a la carte menu.
His catchphrase is, "It's outrageous to put side dishes on rice."
Listen, don't judge me.
I can make my own sandwich.
I'll do what I want. This is a buffet.
And I want to put mixed mashed potatoes with my rice. I damn well will.
I will put kimchi on my rice.
I love how militant you're all getting with this.
Sorry, Emily, you're cutting out.
Totally normal. That's what side dishes are for.
Right? Well, he's the bad guy, right?
Yeah. The most upsetting thing about this to me is that I can see that fucking Don Dorogoku gets the Goldon power-up.
Oh, good for him.
Goldon Dorogoku. Oh, boy.
So this poster right here, like, minus, like, if you took out the Sentai, like, you know, morphed, that would look like a Criterion release of a Japanese movie. Like, right? Like, I'm just like, yeah.
That's some artsy Japanese flick.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I like that they have like Sonoi and fucking Jiro just poking out the side.
Oh
That's
yeah,
so
I remember
funny.
we talked about this when it was first mentioned. Sonoi gets this red power-up shield on him too, and I'm like, oh.
Hey, there you go, Ichi. He's not dead. He's alive.
I don't know.
He's right there. He's right there. He's fine. He's just fine.
Hold on, let's read what this is about. So the upcoming Don Brothers versus Don Booty special. Haruka receives a love letter. Don Dorogoku gets a power-up. The true hero Kaito reunites with his true rival Stacy? Excuse me?
Okay. Stacy's back.
So Don Brothers Kaito reunites with Stacy from Zenkaiger? They know each other?
Guess so.
Did the god at the end of Zenkaiger interact with Stacy at all?
It's not the god, Ichi. Get that out of your head.
This is a reject Kaito of, like, Kaito from the future.
There's a ranger named Stacy?
And his ranger form is called Stay Caesar.
Oh.
It's actually the only cool thing Zenkaiger ever did.
Awful.
Someone posted a picture in the chat of Stay Caesar.
Stacy was great.
Anyway, so the plot here is Taro Momoitaro is shocked by the deliciousness of the Odin bowl developed by Sonoi and is planning to turn all the dishes in the world into a bowl of Odin. On the other hand, Sonoshi, who is also back, I guess, or maybe this is just like the Don Birdie's alternate versions of them, that's why they're here. Sonoshi, who hates Sonoi, yeah, there's Stay Caesar, he was awesome, created an enemy called Mr. A la carte who looks exactly like Sonoi. That's why. It's not actual Sonoi, it's an imposter! Where's my sound? Hold on.
What the fuck are you people talking about?
Exactly!
Don't worry about it. It's Don Brothers.
While developing the...
What hullabaloo are you spouting?
Listen, Paul, you literally had to have watched Don Brothers to even contemplate what the fuck is going on right now.
You can't hope to comprehend.
It's a big case of you had to be there.
It's the biggest you had to be there in all of Tokusatsu, and you're honestly better off without.
No, you had to be
I'm sure I'll be fine.
No. You're missing god tier writing.
If you say so, Lane.
On sandwich, that's all I'll say.
So this is being written by Ayumi
Forze is god tier writing.
Oh,
got him.
Forza is god tier writing.
Did you say Forza?
If you say so. Forze. There's no writing in Forza. It's Car Simulator.
It sounded like Lane said Forza.
What's up?
Anyway, this is being written by Ayumi Shimo, who did the Kira Major versus Ryu Soldier flick.
That's not going to be good.
Directed by Dawn Brothers action director Hirofumi Fukuzawa, who is also making his directorial debut, I guess.
Cool. Anyways, more Dawn Brothers.
Okay.
Yay.
So the guy who did the action directing in Dawn Brothers is doing the actual directing in this. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. So anyway, this is premiering on Toei Tokusatsu Fan Club November 5th. So I have a month of peace before I have to deal with the Dawn Brothers again. Well, 2 months.
We're talking about it.
2 months.
We're talking about it.
I know we are. I'm just taking a measure of how long I have.
I don't want to.
I have 2 months.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Alright, next on the news stories. In Power Rangers news, there was an announcement and some images of the Lightning Collection Master Morpher.
Oh yeah, this thing's cool.
Each year saying it wrong.
Uh-huh.
It's Power More Rangers. Oh my god.
Is that a joke
Happy
I'm not getting?
Power Rangers Day. Twitter, Hasbro fucked up the Twitter on Power Rangers Day and wrote Power More Day.
Oh, okay.
That tracks.
See, I thought you were gonna say it's supposed to be said Lightning Collection Master Morpher.
So yeah, this is cool. It comes with.
Like you pronounced it right, you said it wrong.
It's a golden recolor of the Mighty Morphin Morpher / Zeo Ranger Morpher, and it comes with coins for all of the Ranger forms that Tommy has had over his career.
All of them.
Yeah, so we've got the dragons,
except for Black Dragon.
Well, you know, but we've got the Dragon Zord coin, we've got the White Tiger coin, we've got the Falcon Zord coin, we've got the Zeo Red coin, the Turbo Red coin, and the Dino Thunder Black coin.
It's pretty awesome.
I mean, if you're looking for all of the Tommy forms in one thing.
And they just look cool as the medals too. I think.
Yeah, this display stand that all the coins are sitting on is pretty cool.
And you want to know something?
Oh. I was just gonna say, also JDF recorded dialogue for the Morpher.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say until Lane stole my Lightning Collection thunder.
I'm sorry.
Your Dino Thunder.
Gar, I'm sorry. We're the same mind. Okay. Fuck.
He stole your Thunder Zord.
He stole my Thunder Zord.
His Red Dragon Thunder
Oh shit! Here comes the Tok users. They're pissed.
Tommy never had the Red Thunder Dragon Zord.
So yes, this was in the 25th anniversary episode Dimension in Danger, as Tommy used it to morph into his previous Ranger forms. It was also in
AKA
yeah.
Just AKA Shattered Grid, the shitty version.
Yeah. It was also featured in the graphic novel Soul of the Dragon, as well as the upcoming 30th anniversary special from Boom Studios. Pricing.
That's gonna. I was just about to say that's coming out in a omnibus next year.
Nice, but at this point, pricing and release details unknown. Fan speculation is that it will be revealed proper at Hasbro PulseCon, but there's mention of the toy line being on hiatus, so we'll see what happens.
I will buy it if I can. I will absolutely buy that.
All right, next news
story. As long as it's not stupidly just.
So this is cool. We have from Super 7, a new version of Rita Repulsa, referred to as the Vile Violet Edition.
Oh, cool.
What if Rita wore purple instead of brown?
What if she married Ivan Ooze instead of Zed?
Yo!
That's pretty much that's what this is.
No, you know what it really is? It's
her dress is Ivan.
It's the outfit that all the promotional items drew of her, instead of giving her brown because it was too dull of a color.
I love the two different faces.
I like all the stuff she's got too, like the crystals and the magic potion bottles.
A candle.
It's fun.
A glass of wine.
All the hands.
Yep. Yeah, the love potion. That's great.
I said it before, I said it again. I love Rita's wand. It's it's so outlandish, but it still feels
it's so iconic.
Right. Yeah. Iconic's a good word.
Mm-hmm.
Her and Zed's staff's pretty great.
So that's where Bayonetta got it from.
I mean, I always loved seeing that staff just hit the fucking ground and cause a crater. It was so
Now, how
cool.
did that come back every
That's
time?
what I was about to say. You never saw it go back.
Magic.
Listen, Rita, it has the dark side of the Force, okay, guys? Like,
She's a Sith.
come on.
Or no, like
Yeah,
every
she's
time.
a Sith Lord.
Every time
I see it.
she makes the monster grow, the monster just like yeets it back
Yeets
at the
the
moon.
staff back up at her.
It's the first order.
Yep.
I could see Rita wielding a lightsaber, even two of them.
That'd be great.
Does Palpatine's little spin move? Like, come on.
I was also gonna say she's just like after she throws her staff, she goes into like the secret room in her fortress and opens up a door. There's just a bunch of staffs.
It's like when you have the same suit every day.
One for every day.
I am the Rangers.
She doesn't get that back. She just throws it down there. It's gone.
That's
Just got
gone.
another one.
I think the biggest crime though is that none of these Rita figures ever come with their fucking tricycle. Like, come on!
Missed
A lot of
opportunity.
people forget that she had a fucking tricycle that she
Lane,
rode around.
when you're
on.
right, you're right.
That was more of a Jew Ranger thing.
Now
Yeah.
I'm imagining like.
Solo.
Now I'm imagining she's got like an accountant where she's just like, Rita, you keep using these
You
staves that
can't
are
keep
made out
throwing
of
them.
really powerful magical. Yeah, they're made out of really powerful magical reagents. They cost a fortune. Each one is like a small fortune to make, and you keep yeeting them at the ground.
We're in the
and
red.
They disappear. They disappear, Rita.
These are expenses. We're in the
magic
red.
clay.
That's okay.
Finster makes them.
We'll make it up when I
Yeah,
take
Finster
over the
makes
planet.
them. No, Finster makes them for her.
I'm sure that's what actually happens.
Could you imagine he like
Out of clay.
he makes her stabs out of clay and then uses the monster machine to bring them to life. That's
my
funny.
queen.
The Monster-matic.
Yep. All right, so no pricing info yet, but apparently this Vile Violet Rita figure is releasing in September.
Well, because her dad is named Master Vine.
Oh,
I get it.
Violet. All right, next. Following the success of the Mega Ranger team in Shoto's Super Toy line, they have teased the Neji Ranger figures, aka the Psycho Rangers.
Oh.
So we got to
I wonder
see
if they'll
some.
make silver.
We had to see some unpainted prototypes of the Neji Ranger figures.
Cool.
Was Neji Silver in the Japanese version?
No, because wasn't
Yes,
that...
yes, he was.
Was he?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the Titanium.
The Titanium Ranger.
Yeah.
Was it the same like kind of thing where it was just like the Silver
A
Ranger
fake out?
pretended to be one?
Yeah.
Okay, so they
cool.
just adapted that plot line. So yeah, I can
That's
see
cool.
I can see them doing
of
it.
adapted plot lines.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
fine.
The well, to be fair, this isn't the Psycho Rangers, this is Neji Ranger, but still, point stands. People love those designs.
Those are some good suits.
They're really good.
I mean, yeah, I would prefer another Sentai team. That
Where's my
wasn't just
Neji
the
Ranger
Psycho
suits?
Rangers.
All right, very cool.
Oh.
No information on price or release date, but there's a little teaser. And this is interesting. We've talked about this previously, but we got a new video showing a bunch more information of the Disney Imagination Belt.
This is the coolest freaking thing that has ever existed in the history of ever. And it has full color animations, sound, hisatsu, and actual forms for the different transformations, but I don't know if they're going to use it for anything. And I'm just over here thinking like, oh my god, this is so cool. I hope they do like projects with it. I love it so much. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
No, that's okay. So my first thought as I watched this video of the promotion and I see this art of all these like quote unquote forms that they have, these just look like they look like either the World's End With You characters or like obviously there's some Kingdom Hearts inspiration with the aesthetic, but like the immediate question that we have to ask is this gonna like be a thing? Is this gonna be a game, a show, a movie, anything?
I think it's going to be
my god.
Like a toy line. Not toy line, but
Sorry, go ahead. Emily?
No, I do. It should be something. I don't know why they'd make them without it.
Right? What were you saying, so?
Well, I was saying, like, this could just be like, You know when you go to the stores and they have just illustrations on like the walls and shit.
Yeah,
maybe some merch to go with it.
Mascots for marketing purposes.
Yeah, that's what I think.
That's kind of the feel that I get from this. Like, I would love there to be a thing that is attached to this, but it feels like there probably won't be.
That's fair.
Can you imagine if they made the Keyblade wielder armors in Kingdom Hearts look specifically like Kamen Riders, just so that they could release this belt nearly 10 years later?
I would love them to do more things with the Keyblade armors. But yeah, so if it comes with 10 keys, and now we know what they all are because they showed them off in the video, and we got to see these the art of the associated character forms, if you want to call them that. So obviously we have the Mickey Mouse key, and that form just straight up looks like Sora's little brother.
Yeah, he's got the shoes and the pants.
We got a Minnie Mouse one, we have Snow White, we have Elsa, we have Moana, we have Tiana, we have Simba, even complete with a little like beast pattern face mask on that one, which I think was a nice touch. Woody from Toy Story, and then the two really weird ones, Iron Man and Grogu from The Mandalorian.
There's also Elsa.
I did say Elsa.
Oh, sorry, but I think it's cool how they didn't adhere strictly to genders there. Like, it looks like Mickey is a girl, Elsa is a guy, and such. I think that's
Simba
cool.
switched too, and
the guy.
I think Moana's user is male.
Looks so.
Woody's might be female.
I think they might have just swapped everyone.
No, not everyone. Iron Man is clearly a guy, and Tiana's a woman.
Tiana's a girl. Snow White's a girl. Minnie's a girl.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't actually know for sure.
Mickey, Mickey, I'm not 100% sure. It could go either way. But yeah, like, it's so funny to like see like Disney, yeah, and then Pixar, yep, that tracks, and then like Iron Man. All right, yeah, they own Marvel, and then just Grogu, Star Wars. I'm like,
they own Star Wars.
But like that opens up a whole bunch of conversations. Like, let's think about all of the properties that Disney owns. Does this mean that in the future there could be a fucking Simpsons key?
Yes. Do indeed.
Absolutely.
Like, I want an alien.
Let's turn the key.
Alien.
Turn the key and just like.
But yeah, so we watched the video of how the bell works, and like you put the key in and turn it, and then it opens up, and then it goes imagination, and I'm like, I've already watched Tokusatsu.
I refuse. I no longer want to buy it.
Oh man, but like this is super cool, and I hope that something else comes of this other than just these characters existing for the sake of marketing the belt, you know?
Kingdom Hearts 4, baby, come on!
Or at least some sort of like 10-minute animated special of some sort.
They have to have a weapon too. That would be so cool to see what that is.
A couple of them do, because like the mini one has what looks like an umbrella, and Tiana's got what I can only assume is a spell book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Snow White's got an
Tiana
apple.
Would have a Tiana from Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you have like a ladle or something?
Recipe. That would be a recipe book, not a spell book.
I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you should. It's great.
I'm just saying that, like, in terms of applying it for combat purposes, it could be repurposed as a spell book or like a grimoire, the same way Zexion fights with one.
Maybe. Or maybe her spells are food-based.
I'm just ready for the Grogu user to, like, flip open his coat and he's got, like, a bunch of, like, Mandalorian missiles and shit.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
That would be awesome. All right. So, yeah, that is a thing that's happening. Let's go into the details of the actual purchasable merchandise. So, this is the Imagination Belt. Comes with 10 keys. It is the Disney 100-year anniversary celebration. It will be released in January of 2024. You can pre-order it on Tokollectibles for $365.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Hey, your birthday's coming up. Get your parents to get you this.
The keys themselves look kind of neat too.
Oh yeah, we haven't looked at the keys.
The keys are awesome.
They were silhouetted before, but now we can see what they all look like. I just love the fucking Iron Man one is just straight up Iron Man's helmet and chest.
And Grogu is just literally Grogu.
Grogu in the floating pod.
I do kind of wish they went a little more abstract with those two, because I like the the snow for Frozen. I like the sheriff badge for Woody sort of thing. Like
several of them have some really thoughtful designs put in their symbolism. I also think the Simba one could have been done better. Instead of just being Simba's face, I think it should have been like the art of
like
the drawing of Rafiki did on the wall.
Yeah, that would have been so great.
Right? Sorry, you cut out, Emily.
Do that.
One more time?
Why did they not do that?
Right? See, this is why we need to be consultants on these things.
Come on, guys, you steal from us. Like, just...
You
can ask.
Clearly listen to us.
I also am wondering why some of them are gold and some of them are silver. I think maybe... I was going to say maybe like first-party properties and third-party, but no, the Mickey and Iron Man key are both gold ones.
Yeah, maybe it's just to have some, like, differentiation. I do like, and I'm guessing this is how they know which chime to play. Look at all the actual keys.
All the keys have different teeth on them, which is exactly how other Toku belts work.
Oh, is that how they do it?
Yeah.
Cool.
In general, so.
Which means even if you didn't have all of them, if you knew how to like hack it, you could get all the sounds and animations.
If you know how to play your fingers right.
Yeah.
All right then.
Very, very cool. I really hope that we get to see more from this, and that it's not just releasing the toy and that's it.
If they ever do add on,
Emily, you had a story?
Yeah, because Gar said we should have it go to an even number of stories.
This is our 20th news story for today.
Jesus Christ.
Released a trailer for the new Precure series, the adult Precure 23. Unfortunately, I don't understand anything that's being said or shown in it. But we do get some.
Good.
No, what were you saying?
I was just going to ask, and this is all I care about. Does it have Nagisa and Honoka in it?
No, it does not. It's actually it's based around the Precure 5 characters, but it also has the two main characters from Splash Star in it for some reason. People are guessing that it does not have Nagisa and Honoka is because they're going to get their own series or movie.
Probably.
Okay, then I can be okay with that. The girls need their own movie. That's fine.
People, I mean, you'd think that would have come first. I don't know why they're. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Ichigo and Nigo, like, come on now. But all right, sure, weird flex, but okay.
It's super weird. I need to watch Precure 5 before this.
Well, you have time. It premieres October 7th, so you have at least a month.
Cool.
All right, very cool. And that, finally, is the end of the news.
That's a lot of news!
Yeah, a bit too much, I think, but...
Hey, it's not my fault. I don't make the news, I just distribute it. All right, let's get into our...
But you knew we were talking about the Geats finale. We could have just saved all the new... Like, we could have divvied it up to what was
we
important.
either talk about it one week or we talk about it the next. It ends up being the same amount of time.
We could have talked
You
about...
were the one who said have 20 topics.
Yeah, I know, because at that point, it's like, fuck it, you might as well just have one more. But I'm just saying, we could have saved all the Gotchard stuff for next week so that it coincides with the Gotchard premiere.
This would have been something to bring up at the beginning.
This is something to talk about off-air.
It's okay.
Anyway, because the Geats finale will be our feature topic and the series in general, we will start, once again, with King-Ohger. Holy fucking shit. You know, they haven't fulfilled all my requirements, but I'm pretty ready to say this is my favorite Sentai of all time.
It's definitely the one I'm watching the most.
I knew it, Ichi.
Pretty up there.
This was such a goddamn powerful episode. and this is only half of the show.
Isn't that interesting? This could have been the end of the show if they had structured it differently. Like if they had like done more like
feels
filler,
like an end,
right?
And in some ways, it is.
It's an end of an era.
The start of a new one. Let's just talk about how cool Jeramie is in this episode. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
I actually wanted to talk more about Deathnarok because he surprised me with how deep of a character he turned out to be. And not that he's like complex or mastermind level like complicated, but more like he's been angry the whole show.
Guy.
He's emotionally deep.
Yeah.
Like his plan isn't deep. His plan is literally blow up the earth.
His plan is literally I want to die and take everyone with me. Mr. fucking Fan Daniel.
But his reasons, like his emotional reasons are well thought out. Like he's got a reason to do what he's gonna do, and you're kind of attracted to how devoted he is to it, even to the end in this episode. And Deathnarok became a really, really like I was sorry for the things that happened, and I wish that he could have become like a more mainstay character on their side.
Yeah, and we're going to go into more specific detail as we talk about the episode, but what it pretty much amounted to is the Bugnarok were tricked by Kamejimu into launching the attack against humanity, and the constant aggression back and forth that started as a result of that made Deathnarok so resentful and so angry that he would just lash out at everyone and everything, not only against humanity, but against his own people. And we've seen this happen in the show before this episode, and this episode really puts a fucking fine bullet point on it. When, like everything he did was motivated by his own anger and frustration. Nothing he ever did was a complicated master plan. It was just, I'm angry because of everything that we've been put through. And like, the whole show, I've been like, you are the one who keeps attacking humanity. Humanity never launched an offensive against you. But now it's like so clear that it's been coming from a place of like, yes, I'm attacking you, but I'm angry because of everything we've been put through up until now. I'm not phrasing it the greatest, but I think you know what I mean.
I think what you're trying to say is like... Go ahead.
His character can be summed up in the phrase, "This is bullshit! Do it again!" sort of thing.
Pretty much.
He's so frustrated and he's so angry that he's just like, he doesn't see any other scenario that's a solution. Like, obviously not hanging with the humans is an option because, he's been through this entire, he's been through the entire ordeal since the beginning. He doesn't trust humans, to save his life. But, he's so frustrated with the entire situation and how, solutionless it seems to be from his perspective that he just, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw stuff at them again and see if that works. And he's at the end of his rope, basically.
You know what it feels like to me?
I'm seeing a character. What?
This feels like, picture a couple of people playing a board game. And let's say that one person is doing very, very poorly. And one could argue... What? You know exactly where I'm going!
I knew exactly where you were going.
One could argue that if you're losing a board game, it's partially at least because of your own lack of skill, your own poor decisions, your own short-sightedness. But if you're losing a board game and it goes on long and long enough, you're going to get angry. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to start making worse and worse decisions until eventually you go, fuck it, and you flip the fucking table.
I have also played
killing everyone.
Yeah. I have also played Monopoly.
That's exactly what Deathnarok is.
Right. Sitting on fourth with bullshit.
Sorry, what was that?
Gimpy.
Yeah, he literally devolved into Gimpy from undergrads. Kamikaze!
And it's like we were saying, he is you were right, Paul. He's had it, and that's why he just wants to burn it all.
Does that mean Jeramie is Cal? Yeah. Hey, guy, I'm the Deathnarok King. Hooray for everyone!
Yes.
Which also, like, correct me if...
Yes.
Ichi, did they actually go into, like, because Jeramie was under the impression he started it all, right?
What Jeramie's sin was misreporting it, because he's the one who wrote the Legend of King-Ohger, where he explicitly stated that the Deathnarok were evil. So he was caught up in basically bad propaganda, which we, as of this episode, found out was sparked by Kamejimu purposefully to start this war.
Kamejimu's behind it all.
Yeah, it's all his fault. That one fact, finding out that we don't know the specifics of how he did it or why he did it, which I think we'll find out more about in the next half. But just knowing that Kamejimu sparked the conflict, which made the Deathnarok attack humanity, makes this whole show make so much more sense.
And it's also...
I kind of think that I kind of think it's a little bit obvious, or in the fact, like, I think the space gods that are going to be introduced are a bit of a factor in the fact that, like, here's my theory, okay? He's supposed to wipe this planet so that they can come along and just do what they want with it, and Kamejimu decided to do that by pitting the two major factions on the planet against one another so that they genocide each other. And then in come the space gods.
Yep.
In come the space gods, like, dum-de-dum, where's our planet? And Kamejimu's gonna be like, oh, they're still here.
I always had a feeling, and I'm sure there's some mention of it in a previous episode, Kamejimu never really felt like he belonged. He never really felt like he was truly a follower of Deathnarok.
Yeah, he always seemed to have his own thing going, like, very airheady around him, you know? Like, not airheady, but spacey. The fact that he hid the fact that he was hiding his alter ego as Bolshmarl is proof of that he never really trusted Deathnarok with all of his plans. Yeah, it's true. He's been playing everyone from the beginning.
His name is Mayor Mayhew.
That too.
His name is Mayor. Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think Kamejimu was sent there to, like, prepare the planet for the evil alien faction that we're about to meet.
Which is interesting. Yeah. Like he pulled a Blofeld. Like, play both sides and we'll take out the weaker one at the end.
Exactly.
Because I have to assume, like, when Deathnarok said, I'm going to literally blow up the planet, like, that probably put a bit of a, okay, I'm not sure that this will be good for us.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, I don't know. I'm curious about that.
That's why he orchestrated Deathnarok's assassination, basically.
Well, not so much orchestrated as executed himself.
No. But that was after the whole thing happened.
Yeah.
But that's I would say what you just said there is the reason why.
Yeah. But it was also not just the fact that Deathnarok wanted to blow up the planet. Literally, as that scene was happening, he was like, well, maybe this is where the cycle of death ends. And then when Kamejimu went, well, if you're not going to fight anymore, then fuck you.
Right.
I wanted you all to kill each other.
I think we got to talk about, like, sorry, go ahead, Emily.
There's one thing I noticed that it took me a second to get it, and then I finally did. Look at the weapon that Kamejimu uses to stab.
Yeah, you're right.
That is a pin, like the kind that is used for pinning insects in insect collections.
That is absolutely right.
I thought you were going to say it looks like a UFO. With, like, the shaft is like the tractor beam.
No, I think she's right, though. It's meant to be like
those
things,
insect
right?
pin. Oh! You know, if I had realized that episode 1, I could have predicted way more of this.
It was right in our face the whole time.
I never realized that was an insect pin. That's amazing.
I didn't realize that.
I didn't.
Episode when he used pin an insect. So.
That's so what it is.
What did you just say, Emily?
I didn't realize it until literally this episode where he used it to pin an insect. So.
Yeah.
And then drop a fucking orbital laser on him.
Fire the ninja.
The thing that. One of the things that should have tipped me off throughout the entire thing is I don't know that Kamejimu has a insect equivalent. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we were saying that earlier.
we were treating him as a monster, like as a member of the villain organization, and because he fit that, we were kind of just accepting him as being part of it. But none of us asked the question, what bug is he?
I asked like 5 times.
Did we ever actually look it up though?
Oh no, I kept asking, what kind of bug is he meant to be? Because it doesn't look like one.
That's so fucking funny. If like you did ask and we always was like,
yeah,
and we never looked it up. Because I think if we actually bothered to look it up, that might have been another clue.
I'm like, because every other person looks like a bug. He doesn't.
It's like Kamejimu is an unknown insect type. Like, what?
Like, I always got like a professor vibe from him because he got that thing hanging off his head.
Fucking lapel is made of books.
I would say that, like, if you look at his head, there's something vaguely mantis-like about it, but it's not like it doesn't look like a bug.
Yeah.
Like that would be the closest thing that I would say. Like, if you put a gun to my head and said, "What bug does that look like?" I'd say, it looks kind of mantis-y, but it's not a mantis. It's clearly not anything, really.
Seven's bringing up a good point, too. His name, Kamejimu, all the other monsters were something Jimu, so if he's Kamejimu, the word Kame means turtle, which is not an insect.
I don't know, not an insect.
Clearly.
All right.
Chitinous.
We should have known all along.
So,
like an episode.
If I could just interject.
Exactly, yeah.
I know I shouldn't have laughed at this. I feel like a horrible person. But the fact that there was just like an imprint of where Deathnarok was
the literal smear on the pavement,
and the spider just puts like flowers on. I laughed. I couldn't fucking help it. It was so fun. Like, I know this is supposed to be serious, but like, oh, it's so funny.
I know exactly what you mean.
Permanent imprint of Deathnarok on Chicago.
Just a literal smear on the pavement. All right, well, let's get into actual events of the episode. So, Jeramie starts the episode by... Sorry, go ahead.
Before you say that, he sure left his mark on society.
Oh.
No, that was bad. No.
That was bad, and you should feel bad.
On their walk of fame, no less.
Does that mean all the other villains are going to end up as smears next to Deathnarok's? That's the mark.
Absolutely.
Oh, shit.
So it shall be written, so it shall be done.
We'll see. All right, so the episode starts with them battling Deathnarok in the streets, and then Jeramie challenges him to a duel for the crown of the Bugnarok. And then the first half of the episode is Jeramie taking Rita through the Bugnarok lands as he posits that Bugnarok become the 6th country of the alliance of Chikyu.
Oh my god, they're releasing more railroad ride watches.
Oh god, no.
Well, they actually look pretty good too.
But,
I'm sorry.
It was kind of a funny... Sorry?
You can't escape the news. Even when we're done the news comes to us.
It was a funny bit where like Jeramie is like, you want to see it for yourself, so let's go. Let me show you my country. And then Rita is just screaming because they're potentially scared of the underground world.
Yeah, people are afraid of the dark. Nothing wrong with that. Kind of reminded me of another Jim Carrey thing, actually, where in Ace Ventura, where he didn't want to go into the cave because he's afraid of bats.
Oh yeah. And then we get an interesting scene where Himeno has been analyzing Gerojimu, and they determined that Bugnarok have genes very similar to humans. Now, at one point, Gira posits that the Bugnarok were originally human, and Himeno dismisses this, saying that their DNA is similar. Now, they don't expound on this a lot, but the way I interpreted that scene is... Gira asks if each individual Bugnarok was originally human and mutated into their monster form, which is not the case. But what I think Himeno is implying is that the Bugnarok were originally, long ago, like humans, like a subspecies of humans.
Common ancestor, two diverging evolutionary paths.
Exactly. And as we
Insectolopithecus.
It's like the Victorians from Ginga S.
As we discover,
they're like a subterranean people.
And immediately after that, we discover the pile of the cicada shoe gods, and we discover that
Jesus.
Not only are the Deathnarok growing giant by eating shoe god souls, they were transformed into their monster forms by eating the decaying bodies of the shoe gods.
It's metal as fuck.
They're just eating gods.
Poor cicadas.
So
they're Insectolopithecus.
Look how they massacred my boy.
So the Deathnarok people who lived underground thousands of years ago were humanoid, but because they were living underground and didn't have the same access to all of nature's resources that the surface people did, they had no choice but to eat the shoe gods that they would hunt and find and destroy and gather and bring back down. And eating their bodies is what turned them into monsters.
You are what you eat.
It's fucking crazy.
It's pretty wild. It's a real visceral turn for this kind of show, you know? That honestly kind of reminded me of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Remember when they find all of Ego's children and all that?
Yeah.
That's I was getting vibes of that.
So they also
it really
sorry, go ahead.
It does remind me of things like Australopithecus and things like that. I mean, I wouldn't say they're humanoid. I'd say they're hominids. They were originally hominids. Humanoid implies that they're just bipedal and are just human shaped. Hominid would be in the same genus as Homo sapiens. But I would say that
the specifics don't really matter the specifics don't really matter at this point. The idea is that they are similar to humans in some capacity.
Yeah. I would say that they share a lot of genetics in common, yes, and they weren't bugs to begin with, and exactly. I agree with you, yeah.
Until they started eating the bodies of shoe gods.
It's like the difference between humans and Neanderthals, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The main shoe gods, the ones that we know that serve the King-Ohgers and all of the main and auxiliary Zords, as we discover, aligned with the humans, not out of spite against the Deathnarok, but as a protective measure. Because the Deathnarok were eating shoe gods, the primary shoe gods that we know aligned with the humans to make sure they wouldn't be also eaten.
Be eaten, yeah. What a strange turn. I was not expecting that at all. Mostly because I didn't think that shoe gods were edible.
They taste like candy.
I don't know.
Let's eat these Zords.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking now, if people ate Zords, would they turn into Zord people?
How would you eat Zords?
A crab, or crack it open and suck out
Yeah, it's like a lobster. You gotta crack open the armor.
No. Guys,
so you're dealing with a crab the size of a building, basically.
guys.
Crab.
No, but guys, you're missing the point. They're bugs. You squish them.
Well, that actually leads to a question.
The size of buildings.
But how did they kill them?
You did squish them.
Slimy yet satisfying.
Gonna
eat the shoe gods.
There you go.
I mean, that actually raises that question. How did they kill them?
I don't know. Maybe we'll get to find out in some side special.
They're cicadas. They're not very threatening.
But they're still giant.
Sure.
Maybe they had weapons. Maybe they had magic.
I mean, there's lots of ways they could have done it.
Maybe they had weapons. Maybe they had magic. Who knows? Deathnarok has his fucking tentacles.
He just did that. Just pulled them all up. It's very gruesome.
So this goes even further as we discover that any of the Deathnarok who eat shoe god souls, not only do they grow giant, but if they live long enough after that, which up until now most of them have not because they've been immediately murdered by the King-Ohgers, eventually die anyway. So Deathnarok's now on borrowed time.
Yeah. That felt like a weird thing to throw in, honestly. But one, like, kind of... I don't think you need that. Like,
but then the immediate question becomes, wait, what about Gerojimu? He already grew giant. Yeah, it turns out I'm already dead. I'm a ghost. What?
Yeah.
Well, he said he's an illusion.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
Yeah, that was weird. That almost does feel like they wrote in, you die if you eat them, but then we realize, oh shit, we already did that. And...
No, you know what, guys? He's just a figment of Jeramie's imagination.
I mean, no, because he meant to analyze them. He was a Shoe God pilot.
I was about to say, like,
yeah,
there's something going on here.
It's because Jeramie perceives them as a real thing, so he'll be real. But if he stops thinking about him, he'll disappear.
I think because they are a different species. I think he is some sort of like different kind of post-body spirit, like a ghost or like a specter, if you want to call it. Like he is a afterlife existence that has some physicality to him.
Sure. Can I make a statement right now?
Sure.
Let me just make a little statement here, and this is no spoilers intended. I do like the fact that can be said about moments in both of the episodes that we will be discussing today.
Well, at least in the Geats episode, what he does after becoming a ghost has an explanation, sort of, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, but he still does the same thing, basically.
Kind of.
I thought you were dead. I am.
I was.
I got better.
I am.
So yeah.
Indeed, I got better. I still am, but I got better.
Yeah. And then
better.
We meet Tarantula Abyss, which is the black recolor of Jeramie's Tarantula Knight, or Tarantula Shoe God. Jeramie's been trying to get it to leave, but he can't talk to them, so he has Gira talk to him, where we find out that Deathnarok's been protecting him, because apparently Deathnarok, despite being the angriest of the Bugnarok, is also secretly a nice guy because he didn't want to eat Abyss and has been protecting him.
He's his little friend. I can't eat him.
And he does that thing where in order to protect him, he has to get him to leave.
I know, that was good. You know what, you stupid animal?
I don't like you anymore! Get him out of my sight!
Get out of here before I eat you. It's very Madagascar.
The fox and the hound's it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he does.
Shit. Wow, that was...
Like, it really is...
Spider's just going to come back voiced by Mickey Rooney.
Oh, Christ.
As emotional as that was, I feel like that scene would have hit harder if we had seen shots of Tarantula Abyss wandering around in earlier episodes.
Yeah, I legit thought I missed something.
You know, just him spinning him around in a circle, going ah ha ha. Them running through a flower field together, you know, tucking him into it with a bedtime story, like that. It'd be fucking so funny.
Deathnarok hanging in a hammock made by his webs.
There you go.
Tease the idea that Deathnarok would become a ranger later and be a black version of Spider Kumanos.
That'd be awesome.
That'd actually be awesome.
Ohsama?
Yeah.
Well, that's what Jeramie is. Jeramie's the Bugnarok Ranger, so.
Or at the very least, like a dark. I know there's already a Black Ranger, but at the same time, like, you know, a suit based on the variant of Tarantula that he would be hanging out with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A black recolor of Spider Kimonos.
You inverse the color scheme, maybe.
Yeah,
that'd be neat.
Sure. I was just saying, like, there's already a Black Ranger, but, like, have that.
They could call it Abyss Ohsama.
Ooh, that'd be neat. Abyss Ohsama. Well, that doesn't really matter because he's dead.
Yep. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So Jeramie meets back up with Deathnarok for their duel, and it's very nice and respectful that he gives him the dagger back.
Oh yeah, that was a nice little thing. Like, here, you take this, that, and then now you have my sword. Bring it back tomorrow, sort of thing. That was a nice little duel of
He totally could have just thrown it in the lava.
He could have totally thrown it in the lava, but Deathnarok does have
But
armor.
he didn't.
Honor. Sorry, I said armor.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, I want to say this. In line with how I think the best-looking Darth Vader is the capeless one, I really dig Deathnarok's look when he's capeless.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I like that. I don't know. I think it, like, I just thought it was cool looking.
Yeah.
Like, I like the cape. It's badass. It's very operatic, but,
yeah,
like, I like that one.
So we get the duel, and then Jeramie uses spider finish where he grows the Tarantulas limbs out of his back, and I don't think we've seen that before.
Oh, really?
So cool.
You're right.
Yeah. So yeah, he uses spider finish to, after they spar for a little bit, to drag him back up to the surface, and I guess he just decides now that I've won the duel.
Yeah,
it's kind of flimsy pretext.
I mean, it's like, he's not gonna actually kill him, I guess. So like...
Well, at one point he was about to, but then Gira steps in and stops him.
Yeah, it's a thing in fighting where, like, oh, you get me on the ground or something, and like I'm in a position where like I can't do anything because you would literally kill me. Like that's how the fight went.
Yield.
It's like,
people in our chat are bringing up a good point. You know what Gerujimu is? He Shidinja.
Yeah, I was reading. I was like, I think there is something to that, like. Because, like they're saying in the chat, and they say it in the show, too, like, mayflies have very short lifespans.
Yeah.
So it's like they're here now, they're there the other.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Deathnarok is quote-unquote defeated, and Gira walks up to stop Jeramie from finishing the job, and this is the most powerful fucking scene in the show so far. Despite the fact that the Bugnarok have been instigating all of these attacks, which again was because of Kamijimu, Gira decides it's time to break the cycle of hatred and violence, and he apologizes for murdering the other Bugnarok monsters of the week.
It's very nice.
Even getting so far as to grovel on his knees to apologize, and oh my god, what a powerful shot.
Like I was going to say,
Gira does what he has to do.
I was going to say this earlier with Deathnarok when he was talking to Abyss. Like, kudos to both the voice actor and the suit actor, because like for something that has no face really, like you get a lot of the emotion across from like the physical movement and like the wavering of the voice.
That was great.
The suit actor and voice actor did killer jobs with Deathnarok.
And this scene was really nice. Like, I mean, it's like. It's a great idea. You see it in stuff like the idea that, revenge begets revenge begets revenge. Someone has to break it.
It doesn't matter anymore who started it.
Yeah.
We end it. I really like that.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
I do too.
Heartwarming moment. What's that?
And then, oh no.
The plot.
But then they play through by the end when Jeramie gets inducted as the king of a new country. The one dude who always had like the worst takes on everything is still racist.
Well, I feel like that's a process we're gonna go through over a while. But
I think it makes sense.
We'll get to that part in a little bit, but I actually super love the decision that like as this like the conflict is winding down and Deathnarok is becoming convinced that maybe I don't have to be angry and violent all the time, and maybe there's the potential for peace. And then we just hard cut, and the music dies, goes completely fucking dead silent, as Kamijimu's staff just rockets right through him and pins him to the ground. You know what that reminded me of? That was a straight up Flowey moment.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Oh Christ!
You know what energy it gave me? I'll never forget you, Philip J. Fry. Memory deleted.
That too.
So Kamijimu shows up and admits he started the whole conflict for a reason he doesn't go into detail about, but we have already made some guesses at.
I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. And wonderful episode, wonderful scene. The framing of this, though, because they clearly didn't want to like glue something onto the Deathnarok suit.
Every time they showed Deathnarok from a different angle, you could tell that the thing was like just like behind him.
It was clear. He was doing the thing where like when you stab someone in a play, you go through between their body and arm.
Yeah,
he's just holding it there.
I pinned.
You got me.
Oh no.
Tokusatsu does like theater origins, so at least they come by it honestly.
For a show with supposedly special effects budget that they're happy to flex. It felt like a really weird place to cheap out.
I think it was just again a matter of we don't want to like start putting like glues and shit on the costumes at this point. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not distracting. It is a thing.
I was a little distracted.
Leads me to believe that they're just gonna that they have further use for that costume. So maybe he's not dead.
I mean, he's pretty dusted.
He did literally become.
I know.
He did literally. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
He got dead. He did. So maybe he'll blip back later.
Listen, people have come back. People have come back from worse.
Oh yeah.
Death is largely inconsequential in tokusatsu. We've all learned this lesson the hard way.
You know what? They just need to wish to Ace for him to come back, and Ace will come back.
No, Abyss is his son, and he's going to be Deathnarok the 9th.
Could be.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, just the spider, the little black spider. You're the king of the Bugnarok now.
Oh my god.
So Kamejimu says his spiel. Everyone gets angry. Kamejimu eats a soul and grows giant. They immediately summon God King-Ohger, proving again that they don't need all 20 pilots. And then they do their attack and stomp him, and I just love... Even if we didn't know for a fact that Kamejimu was coming back with the new enemy faction, just the way he was like, "Oh no! Humanity has won! I am vanquished! Ah!" And then explodes like...
He basically did that, yeah.
My dude, that was the worst acting I've ever seen.
Okay. Question. How are we gonna believe that Kamejimu exploding, he's still alive, but Deathnarok, dusting?
Because
is there a difference here?
When Deathnarok crumbled, we watched his body crumble. When Kamejimu exploded, there was an explosion in front of him. For all we know, that was an illusion.
And also, keep in mind, they never look at the bodies when they explode.
Yeah.
So...
Because cool guys never look at explosions.
Exactly.
Yes, I understand. Yeah.
I think there is something. Yeah, exactly. I just used an explosion to mask my.
Yeah, Kamejimu's tricky. He probably has some illusion magic.
Yeah, or no, the Mayfly's in on the whole thing. That's the real. If they do a triple quadruple twist,
I really hope Garojimu doesn't turn out to be bad.
The secret villain.
He's such a sweet boy.
That's why you wouldn't think about it.
Ah!
But yeah, I mean, clearly he's doing that, and we know it's a 2-year time skip, right?
Yeah.
So that's actually interesting in that sense of they probably did think, oh, we got him.
Or maybe because he's an alien, he just actually died and then spends 2 years regenerating like Cell or some shit.
And yes, we did talk about this. Okay, he did only eat one soul, and yes, he's not even technically Bugnarok, I guess.
Yeah.
So maybe
him growing giant was part of his illusion magic. Maybe what they slashed their final attack at was just an illusion.
And maybe it doesn't affect him the same way where now he's on borrowed time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, he's gonna come back. We know this for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
That's his twin brother. Could you imagine they actually pull that?
Oh my god!
Because as always with this, that the big Megazord fight felt like, oh yeah, this is a Sentai. We need
to fit in an actual fucking fight in here somewhere. In the middle of all this plot and amazing drama and bullcrap. That's pretty much been the feel of the show in general.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a Sentai.
Oh yeah, there's a Sentai. But yeah, so they quote-unquote defeat Kamejimu, and then they declare Bugnarok the 6th country. And this is actually a really interesting thing to think about too. Up until this point, the word Bugnarok, I don't know about everyone else, but in my head, the word Bugnarok has always been the descriptor of the species.
No, that's what I was going by.
Exactly. But in this episode, they posit that Bugnarok is the name of the country.
Could it be a Vegeta is from Vegeta situation?
That is what I'm going to chalk it up to. But it also kind of has that energy of we're taking the word back and we're changing it.
Could be
for a positive meaning. The Bugnarok are not just a people; they are now a country.
That's a very interesting idea too. I'm curious. Go ahead.
Interesting to build it around the idea of a slur, but all right.
I don't know. But yeah, so sorry, were you saying, Emily?
No, I just said I definitely could be that they that they decided to name the country after the people they became, but I don't know where the name Bugnarok came from. So.
That's what I was about to ask.
I think at the start of the show, they mentioned that the name of the faction was like the Underground Empire Bugnarok. So I think there is something of a precedent for naming the country Bugnarok. But like the way the way all these characters use the name Bugnarok in the show, it always came off as that is the name of the species. Like, oh no, it's a Bugnarok, they're attacking.
Again, I'm going with I think it's kind of both.
It is kind of both.
Like that's just it's the Empire of Bugnarok, and they are the Bugnarok.
And because like Himeno was like the Bugnarok are similar to humans.
Yeah, considering the fact that like their leader up until now has been named Deathnarok, like you can chalk it up to the idea that maybe they don't have the most invested in naming conventions.
Yeah, well, it's like
they just made.
I'm not even making a criticism of their naming convention. I think it's a cool name.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with the idea of that we may be overthinking this a little. I think
but that's what Castranger does.
It's true. I think it is meant to be simply the Bugnarok are the Bugnarok.
Yeah,
So I think it is supposed to be the name of the country. Yes.
Yeah. It absolutely is. But my point is. Now it's the name of the country because
on paper
it's official now.
Because our human guy signed the bill.
Yeah, and by that we mean clang their swords.
Yeah, he's like they say he's half, but he is at best 15%. Okay, he is an arm.
His one arm is Bugnarok, but like he is the child of a human and a Bugnarok.
I know.
But now that we know that Bugnarok are 96% same as humans, that explains why he only has the one arm, sort of.
It's a weird mix mash of math and
it's specifics we don't need to get into. So they approve. The other King-Ohgers approve that Bugnarok is now the 6th country of Chikyu, and then Jeramie makes his proclamation to the citizens of the other countries that we have made peace with the Bugnarok people. And
court,
one of the most powerful things I've ever seen come out of Sentai. One should only bear the sins of the crimes they personally committed. A very powerful lesson that I really resonate with.
It's like
I loved even Todd was fucking like speechless. He was about to like fucking lose his shit like he usually does, but he couldn't say anything.
Well, and like Ichi, you make a good point here, and it would have been easy for them to go both directions, one or the other. I think like everyone's just, oh yeah, we all get along now, or the opposite of no, we hate them.
Yeah,
but no, they went with we got to try.
Well, that's a thing.
Yeah,
no applause, no celebration, but no hatred, no active speaking out. At least not yet.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see more of that.
That hit me hard. That actually hit me hard.
And in terms of. Sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
No, that did hit me hard. The guy who's always shouting and stuff like that, the guy who's always in the crowd is like, oh,
yeah,
Todd.
His name is Gotoge, but Lane calls him Todd.
Sure. A big moment for me in this episode was when, like, he's announcing that the peace should happen, and normally Todd would be like, oh, we're at peace, sort of thing, or something like that. But he was quiet for the first time.
And that's what I said.
None of them could talk.
Yeah.
And they aren't ready for this. And that's a really mature thing to say in a narrative.
It's going to be a process of them learning to live with each other, and that's part of why we're having this time skip, I think.
I think that is mostly what it is there for, like just to like
that was a resounding cry of if you say so.
And
basically,
something Cell was talking about while we were watching the episode that I'm really interested is, what is the society going to look like after this time skip? Are we going to see integrated societies?
That'd be cool. I think that would be fun. Like, they do this as a joke sometimes, but I think you can it'll still be a joke. But like seeing mooks do like mundane things, like in Geats, like when they had those mooks with like the flowers on their heads and shit, right? I could see that in this, where you just see like one of those orange guys like I'm gonna farm. Like, like 2 eggs, please, or something. Like, that'd be cute. I don't know.
I would love to see that.
And I'm sure we're gonna get. There's gonna be some of that good old fashioned racism going on still.
There's going to be people who still resist it.
But I have to assume by the end of it, it's like everyone's just gonna sort of get along, like wholesale. You know, which good.
It'll be a process.
Yeah. We'll get there one day.
Yeah,
one day.
And so the episode ends with Jeramie and Girojimu walking into the country they now rule, deciding how will we reform the Bugnarok land. It's time for a new story to start. And then we cut to a looming threat in the night sky as we await the
Galactus is on his way.
Pretty much.
What's the villain's name?
Jerry.
Doug Dimmadome.
Jerry.
Oh, I'm calling him that from now on. Owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome?
Yeah.
But this motherfucker.
That's right. That's right. Doug Dimmadome. Owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
I'm picturing Dimmadome there being like, fine, I'll do it myself. like full on gauntlet.
Yeah.
But I do like that. Just like it's very similar looking to the laser that he sent down.
Oh my God.
This like I'm guessing that's supposed to be their ship or something.
Probably.
And like that's probably what fired it originally.
Yeah.
Like.
Or for all we know, that was just a beam shot by one of their hands.
Oh God!
Who knows?
That's what the crown is. It's a gold thing that powers you up, has 6 jewels in it. It's the fucking Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh,
my God.
No!
Oh my fucking God!
Oh,
reality is what I make it.
Gira, fine, I'll do it myself.
Wow.
No, that's how Hercules is going to come back.
Oh, Hercules did. Yeah, when Hercules used it for the first time, he's just like, fine, I'll do it myself.
That's another thing we haven't talked about. I guess, can we like declare Hercules dead? Because like nothing's happened with him since he quote unquote died.
I need to see a fucking body before we fucking declare that.
Like, I mean, Lane, I agree with you, and I really hope it's not what happens, but I feel like that could have been we'll make it vague because we might want to bring him back.
They haven't decided yet?
I think that could have been it.
Maybe.
Like, I don't know.
Maybe the King-Ohgers will be down on their luck, like they'll be fighting this new villain faction and they'll have them cornered and then Hercules will show up and save them.
Oh my God, it's gonna it's gonna
only I may conquer this planet!
We are going to cut to a scene in Tofu and Kaguragi's going down to like a secret thing. He opens the door and he's just like, "How are we doing, Mr. King?" And looks up and it's Hercules and he's like,
I can see that actually.
Can you imagine?
He's just a humble farmer now.
Imagine if it's like imagine if it's like a chicken booth situation where like he started a new life in Tofu and he's totally but someone's always gonna be like, that's clearly Hercules.
He wears a disguise to look like Tofu, guys, but he's not a man, he's a Hercules.
Yeah, he's tending to his fields. He's got a scarecrow made out of his King-Ohger armor.
I'd be down. I just hope they don't pull
someone's like,
pardon me, you guys keep talking.
I don't know who that is.
You guys keep talking. I really have to go to the bathroom. Pardon me.
Like I'm just picturing it like. I really hope it's not this because like it's one of the lamest like story beats of all time. I really hope when he fell into that gorge, he didn't like bonk his head. And, he has amnesia. He doesn't know.
Oh my God!
He doesn't know he's king. Like,
well, no, we were saying before maybe like he hit his head and then that kind of like gets him out of his evil asshole-ish funk and he's back to like the nice Hercules he was when he was a lad.
Turns out that the reason I was so evil is I had a tumor on the side of my brain and I knocked that out.
I refuse to fucking believe that he is dead.
Lane, you don't understand how upset I would be because, like, I think other than you, like, he is my love. Like,
you haven't committed yourself that if he is dead, I have to pre-order his fucking sword. I'm buying his sword if we find out he's dead. Honestly, it should be the reverse where if he's alive, then I buy the sword. But I'm like, no, it has to be. I want it to be a memorial thing. So. Oh yeah, in terms of my Hercules figure art, unfortunately I couldn't get my hands on one, so womp. It would have been $160 anyway, so
yeah, there'll be more.
Maybe down the road. Huh?
There'll be more down the line, right?
There'll be more, yeah. It's okay.
Eventually, you'll be able to buy it again.
Yeah, but no, like you guys were talking a lot about the episode. I was just listening because I didn't want to like butt in, but no, this was a really good episode. It's very powerful, and honestly, like now that we're going into like a time skip and shit, and the way this like first thing ended, this is literally the show. The Sentai has been written like a fucking anime. Like it's literally written like an anime, and I think that's what makes it so fucking good because it's just got that anime tier level of writing, like like characters. Like, it's an anime. It's an anime in tokusatsu form.
Definitely a lot more of that.
It is.
I was gonna say this too. Like, I'm very curious. I don't think there's gonna be like a downgrade in quality, so to speak.
No.
But I wonder if like
absolutely
it's going to be a much more traditional Sentai from here on.
I was gonna say both because of the time skip, they've had some time to exist as a team, and also because Kyoryu Red is going to show up. I think once that happens, they're going to start doing more Sentai-like things. We might get more stock engines. Yeah. We might get a proper fucking roll call. Hell, maybe the Samba-themed ranger will teach them how to do an ending dance.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, too, like, Deathnarok didn't really have a lot of generals. Like,
no.
he had this
Kamijima and Daigorg.
Yeah. Right? Like,
yeah,
and this new team, it's literally a leader and four generals.
Yeah.
So...
It honestly feels... Paul, you watch Magi Ranger. This feels like when they shifted villain factions in Magi Ranger.
Me.
Right?
Yes. No, I agree. Yes. It started with largely just Wolzard and just a villain of the week, and then you started getting more and more people.
And we had like the evil 7 Hades gods.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yes, this is. I mean, like, I feel like this is the spiritual successor to Magi Ranger. Only this is swords and shit, and that was magic.
Yeah, it kind of has similar energy.
They got capes. They both got capes.
I can see Ichi now. If they do a stock henshin, a whole roll call, and we get an ending theme with the dance, I will buy the entire King-Ohger toy line.
You don't know how right you are.
All I will say is, right now, if we get the other 4 stock engines, I'm buying King-Ohger Zero, the Crown Lance, and the King's Weapon.
No, you already bought the fucking castle like I knew you goddamn would.
Yes, I have it. I have it right here.
It's quite large.
I made my own mode changes and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I came up with my own modes because that's what I do with transforming toys, and I love it.
It's a cool mode.
Yeah, I mean, I made what I call Caucasus Keep. It's like a
Anyways,
tower.
I know we all love King-Ohger. It's a fantastic Sentai. I can't wait for a thing, but it's almost fucking midnight. We haven't talked about Geats yet, so let's fucking go.
This is a long episode.
I have something to say.
This is why we don't talk about
to say.
It takes up so much time.
Is it still King-Ohger, Paul, or are we moving to Geats first?
No, for Geats.
Well, let me do my bumper first.
Yes. Brothers and sisters, friends and neighbors, come, listen to the word of our beloved Fox Savior. He fought for us. He bled for us. He was goddamn capped by his own Nason. He rose from the dead, and through his death, we have been redeemed. Our misery is lifted. Our happiness will only be limited by our dreams. He is risen, he is salvation, and we are but his assists. Rise and spread the word of acism, systematic acism, for we are all equal. We are all joyous in the face of acism. So let us rejoice and talk about the finale already.
Did you just call us acists?
That's the second worst thing that was said today.
Guys, I know Ace is a really cool writer and character and all, but
I can't believe Lane was right. He got shot and died. Technically.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, legit. Ace actually technically is dead. He just descended into fucking godism. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Godhood. He descended to the dead On the third day, he rose again. He ascended into heaven and is seated at the right hand of his mom.
And stole some asshole's body along the way.
The living and the dead.
See,
I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Holy.
All right. The bit's over.
See, we live in the West, so we see like Christ parallels all the time. In Japan, you don't see it so much, so I have to assume this wasn't as like synonymous. Like, you know, like it's this and Evangelion. Like,
it's pretty 1-to-1 though.
It's kind of overt.
No, it is 1-to-1. That's my point. Like I don't know who created Geats, but like clearly like some inspiration from the Bible and shit's going on.
What a weird pair of keywords for a Kamen Rider show: Fortnite and Jesus.
I mean, is it really any different? Like, Lane, you played Fortnite. How has Jesus shown up yet in the expansions? Like,
I mean, the Lakers data mine all the time, so any day now.
His fucking pickaxe is the cross.
Yeah. So you'd have that.
I did one religion in my game.
He even got killed. He even got killed by the person it was even carried out by the person he cared about the most.
He got Judas!
And they denied it. And no, more Peter when it comes to her, because like she did it and then she did not, and then she kind of denied it to herself for a little bit. Like she was like, no, I couldn't have. I shouldn't have. Oh God.
But no, what ended up happening is, like, yes, she shot him, but she was being possessed by, I forget what we called her, Dark Soup? The Dark Summary.
Yeah, Dark Soup. Yeah, something like that.
One thing this episode did that was really annoying, honestly, is the whole, like, cut back and forth between, like, the actual plot and then the fast forward to, like, post-world reform. Tumoury, we also called her that. That makes her sound like a tumor, which she kind of was.
Small and kills you?
I was about to say, did you just call her Cancer?
Cancer.
She possessed her twin and murdered a dude!
So basically, as I said last week, I was right. So the evil Samori possessed Samori and made her shoot ice.
Yep.
So, yeah. And she's like, oh, we're one and the same, bitch! Fuck you, bye!
So, apparently...
Fuck you, bye! Like his letter.
So apparently, back when Ace finally reunited with his mom, he decided at that point that he was going to ascend to godhood in order to realize his wish of a world where everyone is happy. And I guess the mechanism, by which he accomplished this is related to the same mechanism by which he reincarnated through each of his bodies throughout time. I can only guess that, like, as each of his previous selves died, he became a ghost like this and then reincarnated in a new body later. So he decides in this episode to use this transitory period between his death and being reincarnated to just straight up steal Suel's body instead.
Or he is literally the child of a deity and literally used Jesus rules to die, ascend, and like fully go deity while also being made of meat.
I definitely think it is not exactly the same as his previous reincarnations, and that's because he has his final form, power-up, godhood, powers of creation that he didn't have before the series.
The fact that he's aware of that is different now. Yes. I feel like the fact that he is aware of that stuff makes it different now. I'll acquiesce to the idea that it might be a similar process, but this is the big one because he's aware of his true nature.
He enhanced his own reincarnation by way of the creation god powers that he's accumulated over the last half of the show.
He really is a Geats Christ.
He's been a demigod at least for like half a season now.
Yep.
That's true.
Including those couple of episodes where he was albino.
But yeah, I was gonna say it's interesting that he's ascended to godhood, but also decided to not have white hair.
Stay a brunette.
Who would choose?
Yeah.
That?
You mean like Kazura Makoto?
Well, let's not get too much into that. But
oh man, I hope Ace and Coda become like fucking god buddies.
God buds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Space God with a God of Desire. Come on,
we're forming like a rider pantheon.
Yeah, the two of them and Madoka are just gonna.
I'm just saying, guys. Gaim's 10-year anniversary is this year, so Gaim Geats movie, huh? Yeah.
Invest Grand Prix.
There you go.
I may rewatch Gaim now. Actually, now that you've said that, I may rewatch Gaim as a aside or whatever.
So yeah, apparently Swell/Regard, there was this one moment where you saw like someone screaming in like the one eye of his gauntlet, so I guess that he just murdered the rebel audience.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant, whether he was now just decided to ignore them, or if he actually...
It sounded like a scream, and then he clenched his fist and it stopped, so I think he just murdered the audience.
You just decide, I don't give a fucking shit about audiences and shit anymore. I just want to move on.
Him just like shutting them up. I didn't think it was him killing them.
You said something about weeding out the unwanted audience. But yeah, so the others try to fight against Regard, and of course he has his time bullshit powers, so he makes them point the rider kicks at each other.
He does this thing where he says that he's changed the time around Eon, Kawa, and Michi so that it's before they ever got their drivers, and it's just like, then why do they have memories still? Like, why are they wearing like the same outfits?
Yeah,
well, yeah. I'll say this. Yeah, Regard's powers tend to be rather arbitrary, and I guess it's because he's the final boss of the series. It's like, yeah, it's got all the positive benefits that I want, but it doesn't have any of the negative detractions or things.
Regard matters like, so fucking little that it's not worth getting into. Like, I'm Mr. Belt Mechanics, but I'm so ready to not pick into this.
Sure. Like, I'll say, yeah, and I'll agree with you about Regard. And this is a problem with, like, you know, the narrative in general. There's so many different arcs in this show, and they all try to have the same kind of importance, that none of them are important.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, the mythology is more important than the actual narrative, and I think that's...
We'll talk more about that when we talk about the series as a whole. We need to focus on just the episode for now. Yeah. I do like that for a moment Buffa has his Jaw Machine powers back out of completely nowhere, but even though he has
10 seconds.
The defined power to defeat all Kamen Riders, the final boss rider goes, no you don't. I'm like, ugh, way to completely devalue Buffa's journey. But yeah,
literally is God mod, yeah.
So they all get their drivers removed. They go on their morale speech of keep on wishing, and then, as is typical for every final episode of recent Kamen Rider shows, Geats rides in base form, Magnum Boost.
He just like throws his motorcycle at her. He just like runs him over like the bus in Final Destination. You can just drop dead.
And as we see from he's using the new memorial Magnum buckle, because when he shows up it goes ready fight for desire, which is the added sound. Which is I guess their version of the same way that 01 used realizing Hopper, where it was technically a different form but the same suit, and Saber used Wonder Almighty, which is the same suit but technically a different power up. This is their version of that.
I hate so much that Toei's just like, we're doing this every fucking season in the regular era. Like, every rider's gonna, in the final episode, the title rider's gonna go back to their base form somehow. At least with Revice again, it was clever.
Yeah.
So
Geats wishes all of their powers back, but still doesn't give Buffa his final form. They just all go into base form.
No, they pull an X-Aid where like they fight the final villain in their base forms.
No, I know.
Just when they fought Game Days at the end. And
no, but at least when they did it with Game Days with their level 1 forms, it was for an expressed purpose, because the level 1 forms are designed to separate human and Bugster. That was clever.
I'm also talking about the level 2s.
Oh yeah. That is basically the same thing.
But they also revolve on, and apparently because they use the bottom ninja legs for
Bujin?
Like Bujin sword. Yeah, that's CGI. That's why there's like a shot where like it's Buffa and Nago fucking like they're fighting on the ground and it's actually them, and Tycoon just fucking rider kicks in off screen.
Yeah, and then immediately swaps back.
Yeah.
So Geats 9 walks out of the fire after. There was a cool moment where Nago used her rock fire to like buff the others' weapons. That was cool. Why didn't she do that more?
Where was teamwork in this show?
Right? We were too busy fighting each other.
Why didn't Thor realize that he could deputize the rest of the Avengers with the power of Thor and his hammer based on the last Thor movie? Yep. That's why this didn't happen in this.
Because they didn't think of it until that movie.
They didn't think of it again. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
They didn't think of it until that very moment.
It was an impromptu decision, and they made it.
Yeah, and then they all gang up, and Geats does his final rider kick against Regard, and then we get a moment of only seeing Sewell after the explosion, and it's like, oh, did he lose? But then we find out, surprise, the now bodiless or then bodiless Ace in the clash possessed Sewell's body and basically deleted his consciousness and took over his body. So he now has his.
He decided to reenact the ending of Matrix Revolutions.
That's literally what happened.
Is it a down to earth situation where it's like, oh, he sees himself as Ace, but everyone else sees him as the person he possessed?
That is a weird reference.
Wow,
dude, that's my favorite Chris Rock movie. I fucking love it.
Madagascar 2, yo.
That makes me think of that second Wonder Woman movie with the weird.
Oh, don't get me started with that bullshit. God, I hated that movie. It's so bad.
But it could be.
I love Chris Pine, but they ruined him. No, it's okay, Emily. You triggered me for a second.
So yeah, Ace in his godly evolved ascendance takes over Sewell's body, thus merging his pre-existing power with all of the power and authority that Sewell had, which I guess finally gives him the enough like wish magic god power to finally do what he's been trying to do since he got reunited with his mother and reform the world into a world where everyone can find their happiness and they're no longer limited by like you have to give up someone else's happiness to get your own happiness.
Ace finally had sufficient juice.
Yeah, that's what Gene decided to do. He's like, I'm gonna make my own DGP with blackjack and hookers.
Like, as idealistic of an ending as this is for the world, this is kind of shallow and short-sighted because, like, yeah, it's great that people will be happy and get what they want. Not everyone wishes for nice things.
Said it before.
Also, I love that
DGP is a bad idea.
I said it before.
I love that the producer chick fucking was like freaking the fuck out and fucking Gira. He's just like, shut the fuck up.
Samus was completely inconsequential. The only thing she did of any significance this whole show was shoot Niram.
Yeah.
I'm glad she's dead because she didn't matter.
We got some satisfactory endings for some people, but at the same time, I agree with you, E.G. The DGP in general is a bad idea.
That was the whole point of the entire show!
And they're still gonna do it.
Wait a minute, the monolithic super corporation that controls everyone's a bad idea?
That's never been a thing!
Geats, how bold!
The Democrats won. Business as usual.
Decker just made me realize, so Ace made a world where everyone's happy, and what will make Japan happy is destroying all of humanity. Oh no.
But Ginpen is still dead, probably.
And this is why...
But his kid's okay, so it's fine.
And this is why I said, and I'll say it one last time, turkey on rye.
Kamen Rider, the turkey's a little dry.
I don't want to turn into a turkey sandwich myself.
I want that to be the last wish.
I know Ichi, you're gonna hate me for this. I'm so sorry, but I've come around to good old Farmer Daichi. I think that's pretty cool. I love his little sunflower Jamato. I love that they're wearing like nicer clothes, like t-shirts and jeans. And
I don't care that he's raising happy little Pikmin. He's still an asshole.
Okay, what's this about Pikmin?
Oh, he found his people. He found his people.
Yeah, not humans.
Literally, the monsters for this series were fucking Pikmin. Why did we not make Pikmin jokes this whole show?
Because they didn't have flowers on their heads till now.
Yeah, no, now I remember what you're talking about. You get them to, go fight the Bulborbs.
The Barobas?
We need the dog.
Sure.
We need the dog. We need the dog one.
Ochi. I like it.
Yeah, Pochi. I love Pochi.
Ochi.
I thought I was going to hate him, but
Ochi. Sorry.
I thought it was so funny how, I named my character Ichi, so it was Ichi and Ochi.
Yeah.
Like that?
He's now Daichi Metal. That's funny.
Oh yeah, and they all made fucking wishes to Ace, and Sarah obviously went fucking overboard with hers, and I'm like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, I wrote down all the wishes. So Win got his band to be successful, which is excellent. Daichi is raising the Jamato to coexist with humans, which I guess will lead into the plot of the movie. Michi's wish was to eat meat.
Lots of delicious beef.
One of our main characters, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's pretty close to a turkey sandwich.
Do you know what I interpret that as? Can I say this? Do you know what I interpret that as? I think what he really wanted was to share good food with people who like him.
Sure, but why not just write, I wish to be better friends with my workers, my colleagues?
Because he's a simpleton.
Yeah.
He's not very emotionally intelligent, but he has emotional needs. Yes, exactly.
No, I get it.
Yeah, he's not very emotionally intelligent, but he has emotional needs, and he fulfilled them. I actually thought that was one of the more touching parts of this.
Yeah, no, I'm being a shit, but it was pretty nice. They highlight this by, he wishes for good meat, and then the dude he's talking to says, food tastes better when you share it with friends. And he's like, fuck yeah.
I was about to ask, what did he literally wish for? Because if,
He literally wrote to eat good meat.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what would a genie do in this situation? If he just went, sweet meat, okay, you can eat meat.
Yeah, have a steak.
Wish granted.
Neon wishes for her prince on a white horse, and in that we get Kyun living with her as her producer. That's sweet.
That was so cute.
That was Kyun.
And then
I did want it to be Kawa, but whatever. All right.
Kawa's still wishing for world peace, and he's gonna become a cop.
Kawa wishes for Halo.
He has his ID course somehow.
I mean, they never had a reason to take them away, I guess. This is going to relate into the movie. The Jamato are going to go berserk, and they're going to have to fight them again.
Yeah, I don't like Michinaga being
Yep.
I don't like Michinaga being nice, and he remembers who he actually is.
Well, good news. He's going to get angry again in the movie because of Poison Rage.
His Poison Rage. I'm calling it Poison.
One thing that was on that thing of wishes that wasn't really highlighted, but was definitely there was a one from Ben and John. And part of it's cut off, but you can extrapolate, and it says happiness for Ohsama.
Oh.
Yep.
That's nice.
I miss them.
And then we get a shot of our new protagonist. I forget his name, but Gotchard. Yeah, chasing the Hopper 1 card around.
Voiced by Setchin.
Hotaro, that's his name, yeah. And this is, I guess, the writer equivalent of the Sentai handoff.
They did do the baton. They did the baton this year.
Look at him and be like, I wish you happiness.
Yeah. And then
I'll see you in the crossover movie, bitch.
And then the last shot of the episode looks right out of an actual church fucking PowerPoint presentation where it's just an artsy shot looking up at the city and then just text that says Ace with us.
He lives in you.
That looks like something you'd see on a church PowerPoint presentation.
Right. Ace has risen. He is us.
Amen. He watches over
Sorry, I'm always gonna be He Lives With You over fucking Circle of Life.
We all make mistakes.
I know.
It's a great song. It's a wonderful song.
And that brings us to the end of Kamen Rider Geats.
What'd you think?
Let me look it up. I have it written down. At the end on the screen, it just said Ace with us.
Yeah.
It should have been a lot better than it was.
Oh, I'll go into my thing when I get a chance. But
I feel like I
will say,
least... Sorry, go ahead.
I like the merch. I like the merch. Desire Driver is one of my favorite rider belts ever because I just really love the simpleness of it, and the buckles are really
pretty nice.
I feel like I have the least to say. Should I go first in terms of
Sure. Tell us what you think based on what you've seen.
Well, I mean, like, it has to be said again that it felt repetitive a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. Like, almost every time I watched an episode with you guys, it was a new one starts.
Yeah.
So that was, like, bad timing, but I think it also sort of speaks to just how often it happened.
Pretty much a microcosm of experience of the show in its entirety.
I mean, overall, I'd say it's like, you know, I definitely was like, okay, I get why people would like this. Like, nothing seemed overtly bad. Like, the acting seemed good. I like the forms. Like, I've said before, Buffa looks really cool to me. Like, I really like the Buffa form. Overall, I think the thing that stood out to me the most was, in fact, the music. I said it multiple times that the music, not just the theme song, but the in-show music was really good. I liked it quite a bit. And, yeah, like, honestly, I don't have a lot to say, because, like, I just wasn't as much of a part of Geats as I am with King-Ohger. King-Ohger is... I'm just enjoying that a lot more.
Yeah.
I'll say this, I find this interesting, that I think Geats is, like, doing rounds outside the normal Toku communities, just because, like, there's this guy I watch, Cosmonaut Variety Hour, shout out to him. In one of his episodes recently, they were doing something on Power Rangers, and he just said, yeah, you should watch Kamen Rider, it's great. And he just showed a clip of Geats specifically, which, I don't know, I guess that it's making some rounds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my 2 cents. If someone says they like it, I get it. If someone says they don't like it, I get it.
Yeah.
I would have wished for a sandwich.
Yeah, that's the thing. At the end of everyone's thoughts of Geats, what would you write on your desire card?
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I don't know why we didn't think of it until now.
And then everyone in the comments, let us know what your wish would be as well. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
At once.
All right, Paul, go.
Okay, Paul can go.
I'll go. It should have been better. Like, from a structural perspective, it should have been better. It didn't earn some of the writing that it had going through it. Like I've been saying throughout some of the other episodes that I've been on, the show tends to reboot itself every single time, and that tends to minimize the results of the last arc, and it doesn't have to be that way. It can still evolve and like develop itself without rebooting itself each time. And so I felt like it feels more like a conglomeration of pieces rather than a cohesive whole. Like the world building wants to be a cohesive whole, but the actual structural building of the show won't let it be that.
Instead, it's a cohesive whole without a W.
Yes. It's a cohesive whole, and I can't fuck it properly.
Oh.
That's a wonderful way to put it.
No, never say that again.
Trust me, I won't. I hope that I won't. But what I'm saying is true. Like, it's more a conglomeration of parts, and the parts try to fit together, but they don't fit together in the way that I feel like the show wants it to. It doesn't flow properly. It's got great parts, but the actual overarching show is an infuriating watch. Like, I'm like, okay, I think I understand it. Okay, now I don't for another 10 episodes. And then it keeps doing that, and it pissed me off. And I wanted to like it just as much as Gaim, because it feels like they're trying to do Gaim writing. But they don't know how to write a show like that in the same way that the Gaim people knew how to. So that's my... Am I wrong?
No, I'm just laughing at what Decker posted.
What did he say?
A world where Geats doesn't exist.
Oh, well, sure. I'm not sure that I want that. I'm not saying that it's devoid of merit. I think that's my point. It's not devoid of merit. It's just it's hard to see that merit when the show is so infuriating to watch.
Understandable.
That's my point. Yeah, that's my point.
Is that all you have to say on it?
I liked it. Like, I liked the experience of it. I didn't like... I liked the overarching experience of it. I liked the episode-to-episode experience of it. I didn't like the overarching experience of it. How's that?
Understandable. Do you have any specific comments on any characters? Usually when we do these end-of-season wrap-ups, we talk about the main characters.
Boy, oh boy, did I wish Neon had her own... Like, I know that she had moments, but I don't think she had a moment that would codify her as, like, one of the big core main characters. I feel like when it came down to it, she was clumped together with the rest of the side characters, whereas I feel like she should have been counted within Ace and Keiwa's sort of bubble, whereas I think that she got counted within the rest of the other riders. I think Neon had a great arc, but I feel like she needed to be capitalized on more.
I would actually...
Keiwa got
Just real quick, I would actually posit that Neon was a part of the main character stable of main characters in terms of them spending time together, but the problem is Neon never got any... Only once in the show, Neon got very close to a plot-significant moment that would define her as a main character, and that was the revelation of who and what she really was.
That is literally what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but that's literally what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like aside from that, everyone else had significant narrative moments constantly throughout the show, and Neon only had one that came close.
Yeah, literally. I wanted her to be on the same level as Keiwa and Ace.
Yeah.
And they kept treating her as a side character. They kept treating her in Michinaga has more attention than her, and he's the Zuko of the situation.
Pretty much.
Like, I get it. I understand it. But at the same time, I resent it. Because I wanted Neon to have that big, strong story moment that justified her focus.
Yep.
And I never got that. And I don't think that that's a detriment to her character. I think she was robbed of that. Because in the end, she did wind up just being the girl. She wound up being, and I resent that. I think that she deserved better than that. And I think that there were side characters that got more development than her that didn't necessarily deserve it.
Fair enough.
That's it. Yeah. It is the sum of its parts is more interesting than the whole. That's what I'll say.
All right.
Like when you look at like the various components of the show, it's interesting, but when you look at it from like being film made, it's lesser than what it could be. And that's me.
All right.
Next.
Do you have a wish to write on your desire card?
I wish for an alternate universe where Geats is a cohesively written series.
Valid. All right, Emily, your turn.
Okay. I definitely agree with the sentiment that it was really, really cool when it started, the way that it was like all these different games. You got to know all these different characters. But then as it got into the middle and they just kept sort of adding more stuff to the DGP and then the Jamato and then like just all the different versions of it, and it sort of felt like we should either stick to one game and one universe or remove the game aspect entirely.
They got too focused on the concept. They got too focused on the concept and didn't flesh out everyone else in the way that they should have.
I don't know, because the world building was really interesting to me. I really wish we'd seen more of this future where people can change anything about themselves.
Exactly.
I wish we had more of Ace's past reincarnation. I wish we found out more about where they discovered the goddess of creation, how happiness became a physical thing that could be harvested.
I agree.
They got did the Jamato get involved in this? Like, did they exist and then they just put them in the game, or did they make them as like enemies for the game? Like, there are so many questions that could have been answered with two sentences, and instead they focused on a lot of things that were, I don't know, like I feel bad because I don't want to say things that were not as important, but it doesn't even feel like that. It feels like they didn't really focus on anything by the end. And then there was that weird thing where Keiwa just went dark, which made sense, but then he went dark and then he was like a mafia boss for one episode.
Yeah.
The weirdest.
The pacing was terrible. The pacing was terrible.
I thought the pacing was like pretty much flawless in like the first quarter of the show, like in my opinion. Like the way that it just went like really fast, we got to know the characters. It was like a perfect balance between the gameplay and like the character moments and everything. We got to see like Ace do all his like crazy pulling stuff out of his butt maneuvers, and how all the characters played the game differently, like, and stuff like that. That was really cool. And then after a while, it sort of became, let's add a whole bunch of other characters and just have everybody fight everybody. But the thing is, I don't think Geats was bad. Like, I thought it was genuinely great. I feel like there's a pretty big contrast between the first.
The sum of the parts is greater than the actual whole. There's a lot of interesting concepts, and there's a lot of things in the show mechanically that are very interesting. But when you see them all interact with one another, it's a very lackluster final product.
Yeah.
And you can still say that you like it, and you can still mean it, because like a lot of the moments are really good. But at the same time, they're not as good as they could be, because it feels like it's being written by committee week to week.
Yeah, let Emily finish what she's saying.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was just thinking, like, I don't know, because I was supposed to be saying what I thought, but now I've completely lost my train of thought.
Are there any specific characters you want to make comments on?
Because my brain is a pancake and he's really smart, so what he said there was better worded than.
Even if you have similar opinions, you're free to express them in your own words.
I suppose, but I think what he said was basically exactly what I would have said if I had a brain. That wasn't meant to be no.
It's late.
No. Emily, it's okay. Who is your favorite character in the show? Who is the strongest character in the show for you?
I don't want to say it was Kakura, but it totally was.
Kakura was interesting.
Yeah, like, just the idea of a person who was like a Kamen Rider Gen 1er trying to break the cutie, as TV Trope says, on purpose.
Yep.
Was like super messed up and super interesting at the same time. And the fact that he was paired with Keiwa, who was my favorite of the main characters, although I liked all of them. Yeah. And their weird strained relationship being sort of funny sometimes, but then sometimes being really twisted. I thought it was a really interesting dynamic. I mean, it's hard to. I mean, man, the relationship between Ace and Keiwa was really interesting too, and that just kind of went nowhere by the end. Like at the beginning, the sort of clash of their values and the way they played the game was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, that just sort of
went nowhere.
Where did that go? Same with Ace and Neon. I mean, she's awesome. Her final power up form was probably my favorite form in the whole show.
Same.
Too bad we saw it like one.
Yeah.
I feel she deserved something way better than that, but that's just me.
Her character show is probably my favorite. My favorite of the like character revelations. The fact that she was a replacement. I'm sorry, I keep using TV trope stuff. The fact she was a replacement goldfish for a dead daughter that was made by a committee, like that was really interesting. Mm-hmm. And now she doesn't have to worry about that. She now has the love that she deserved.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Yeah,
that was awesome too, and she gets to be with Kyun as well, because I was thinking like, so are they saying now that like she's not allowed to have a romantic love? But no, it's all the love. She gets all the love.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Yep.
Yep. And my probably unpopular opinion is I'm glad that Daichi gets a happy ending.
I'm there with
because even though he was like not nice and a lot of terrible things, it's clear that he found his good in what he did when he was with the Jamato. Like like people change. Sometimes people find something that's their passion and it changes them, and I think that's what happened.
And my reaction to it is the same as the people of Shugotum when they hear the Deathnarok are cool. Let's all get together. When I hear you talking about him and be like, he's sympathetic, I'm like, you've made good points. Boy, oh boy, am I not ready to say that yet.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, let's see where it goes. He could like go right back to being a jerk, or he could go all the way in the other direction. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not ready to give him that credit yet.
I think that
credit is
like he's got like his he's got like a few tokens from like Rider Villains Anonymous, but he doesn't have like the highest level ones yet.
He doesn't have his 10-year chip yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to go for and failing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bit more to do. That was good. That was awesome.
I guess.
All right. Any other thoughts? You want to close it off with your wish?
No, I did my wish on the card.
Oh, that's nice.
That's cute.
All right, Mr. Laneford.
I'm going to completely and utterly pass out, so...
Okay, Emily, have a good night.
Right, thanks for joining us, Emily.
Yeah,
Talk to you later.
For all you guys, what you have to say, I'm going to watch the episode listen to the episode, but thank you very, very much for everything, and looking forward to Gotchard with everybody.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
See you next week.
All right, Lane, give us your take on Geats.
Oh, I guess you have more to say than I will.
I have some stuff to say.
Okay, well, first thing is, this show was okay for me. It was a mix of good and a mix of bad and a big mix of things I think I personally would have done very differently. So my first thing is, I would have liked to at least had half of the show be these cast of characters and only these cast. I didn't care for really the support riders. I don't think they were necessary. I don't think they were needed. We didn't need like 6 fucking villains. Like, God, that's what made the show was bad, was that we had like 6 fucking villains to juggle around with. And then we had this fucking no-name guy who we didn't see his face and it didn't fucking matter.
Swell?
And he's just, yeah, like, who cares? Who cares? Like, I would have rather he had a face and he was like, I was running the DGP the whole time. You didn't know. But I would have loved it to have these 7 characters, these 7 riders the whole time. Even as much as great of a character as Win was, don't want him in it. I would have just liked these 7 people.
No, you know what? Hard disagree. We need Punk Jack. Without Punk Jack, the show is trash.
No, but I agree with what you said in the beginning. I agree with what you said in the beginning, Ichi, where you were like, oh man, it'd be great if Japan just became like this fucking like halfway through endgame villain. I was like, yes, I agree with you. I want the evil panda rider to be like this big bad guy.
And then they teased us with him coming back, and then he was gone again next episode.
Michinaga should have stayed like part of the Jamatos and the bad guys, and should have been this Jamato fucking zombie fucking monster of a rider.
He didn't commit to going full Baron.
Exactly. I wanted that for him so badly, and then they're just like, no, we're gonna give him the world he wants, and he has this rider destroying power, and then they never used it ever again, because they just take suits and they repurpose them for other things, and I really fucking hate how lazy Toei is with their in this era with this bullshit. It's stupid. Ace, I feel like how they should have done with him was, I think it should have been like, because with the support riders not being a thing, they should have had his mom being the creation goddess. She's the one who's been making him the reason why he keeps winning, because she's been letting him win with giving him all these buckles and these special powers, and she's the reason he's winning.
That would have been interesting.
She wants his son to live, to win, and to have a happy life.
And when she disappears, he no longer has that.
Exactly. You get rid of his mother, and then he starts going into this
depression, losing arc.
Yeah, he starts losing, and it has to be Kawa and like Neon to like kind of perk him back up and be like, you don't need your mother to like give you the strength. Like you're the strength. And then that's when he gets his form. Yeah, that's how this should have done. They should have made Ace have this like top tier character, and then he just has this big arc of just slump, and then that's when you concentrate on the other riders, and you give them their time and their character development, blah 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 blah. So I feel like that's what they should have done. But anyways, like I wish this first game that we got lasted like the whole year. Like it was just one long ass game, and then the DGP threw in other riders to fucking stop the other ones that were doing so well, and then at like the last 10 episodes of the show, that's when they drop the DGP and they're like, fuck this shit, this is stupid, and they rebel, and then that's how I would have done.
They should have fast tracked the idea of fuck, Ace can't win again. Like, we can't have that. Like, they started that.
They did this too early. The whole shit with Giori and stuff, that was too early. Revealing like the game master and how like the DGP works, that was too early. They were too early on this shit. That's at least like halfway through the show type of twist that they should have done. But yeah, like for me, I think for Geats that was really attached to was like the toy line. Like the Desire Driver is such a fucking cool belt. I love the thought process, like how they did with Ryuki, where anyone can be a rider. That's why like I want to make eventually my perfect Geats display where like I have like the yellow box like that I own, and I have like my ID core, my own personal Gracier ID core, like in the belt with the belt displayed in it, and I want my own figure art. Like I just want to make this ultimate rider display because it looks so fucking cool, and I've been thinking about it all year round. I'm getting so close to it. But yeah, like what we got like was really it was okay. I just feel like they could have done this a lot better, and they just were just mix and matching things and trying things that worked, trying things that ended up not working, and just like again, too many villains. There's too many bad guys, and that's what I liked. I wanted one concurrent villain, and we didn't get that, and it really pissed me off. So
it was at its best when the riders that would later on become allies were and
rivals.
Like when the court, when they were dealing with rivals and shit, that was when it was at its best, because then there could actually be a conversation between two sides. When it comes to like the actual villains, like management, they're too mwahaha evil sort of thing versus the heroes that are like a conglomeration of people who have gotten to know each other and have been flawed. Like they've all had their own little story arcs. Like if we're meant to.
Sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
No. Make your point.
Well, I was just mentioning. I was going to mention like what Decker just posted. So yeah, because of this show, we got to make our own OCs and we made our own DGP and we have our own personal Kamen Rider, and it's so fucking cool.
Rider Hunger Games, because we couldn't have done that before.
Yeah, and like I was so stoked for the theme of a battle royale themed Rider series, and like I guess it's just like Ichi didn't get to say it last week, but he's like, oh, but they switch games like Fortnite switches seasons every fucking few months, and I'm like, yes, you're right, Ichi. It's true, Fortnite does do that, but they shouldn't have done that in this show. That's what was stupid.
So you're suggesting they leaned too hard into Fortnite?
They did lean too hard into Fortnite, so yes. I agree with you.
Is it that?
Right?
Is it possible Is it possible that what we really want is just a bunch of people with rider powers dropped into a situation where they have to fight each other in an ecosystem, and the one who survives wins?
Like imagine we had like the Squid Game writers writing Geats.
Oh my
God.
How
fucking awesome would that have been? How fucking awesome would that have been?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just like pull a Gaim. Get like a really like.
It really feels like they kind of tried to do that and just didn't quite reach it.
Imagine Urobuchi wrote this.
A lot more dead people.
So good.
Sarah would have stayed dead. Sarah would have stayed dead.
No, none of this retired bullshit. Would have just been dead. So I know, like I know I say, but like I always say, death in a show or a movie really makes the story really awesome. I think, in my opinion, that's why like I think I enjoyed Game of Thrones so much, just because like people died all the fucking time. And you couldn't get attached to anyone because it's like, oh, they could be next. So
Cell's been showing me House of the Dragon.
I know. I'm glad. You should watch Game of Thrones as well. It's fucking fantastic. Well, first 6 seasons, I'd say. You can drop that for 7.
That's a story.
But anyways, so Ace, really badass character. I think he was really cool. I kind of like that he like ascended into godhood. Like I think that's really fucking cool. So now like we have another god character rider, which is pretty sweet. Keiwa, pretty cool secondary. I liked him. I as much as I did like his kind of like dark phase he had, I just kind of wish they lingered on it longer, but they didn't, so I just didn't like it as much because they didn't go with it for long. Neon was I'm sorry, but like after the greatness that we had of Sakura and Revice, they can't top her. They can't top her for me. Sakura is the best. Michinaga, cool. I just kind of hate that they treat him as much of as a dumbass, kind of. And like Buffa, cool suit, cool rider, but just they were going in the right direction with them, and then they just circled back, and I'm like, no. And then the villains were okay, and then the future riders were okay. Broba didn't give a shit about. Kekro was fun, and Jean, and then Kyun. Who the fuck cares about Kyun? Honestly. But yeah, so Gates mixed bag. I enjoyed things from it, but that's it. And my desire is to have unlimited money, because unlimited money would be awesome. I could buy everything.
Okay, you went for like the most like.
You know what? Okay, I want unlimited money so I can buy everything for me and my friends and everything that they want.
There you go.
So.
Yeah, this is the thing. Apparently, people in our Discord server have turned this into a meme of just Kayla giving a thumbs up.
It's a good emoji.
Hey, I mean, it works, man. I love it. That put a smile on my face.
We need that as an emote now.
All right, Mr. Ichi.
Oh my god, what can I fucking say?
We're gonna be here till 6 a.m.
You know what? You know what I think is the best compliment I can give Geats? Thanks to Geats, I got to focus on enjoying King-Ohger more.
No, we do now know which is the superior show this year. So
okay, so the biggest problem that Geats has is that it kept rebooting itself. It never had the guts to. It never had the guts to commit to an ongoing character development, an ongoing story, an ongoing thread of theming. Like, nothing it did lasted long enough to be significant and memorable.
Thank you!
Every character we met, every time they did something cool, it was immediately forgotten in the next episode. And not ever talked about again. Anytime anyone underwent character development, it happened, we were like, that's cool, and then the next episode, it was gone from our brains!
All right, one more thing. This is the biggest sin. Ben and John, how fucking dare you? You have these two awesome characters, you made them riders, and then you just didn't fucking show you didn't make suits for them. What the fuck?
Deliberately went out of their way to not give them their due.
The biggest fucking sin. Give them some kind of, like, I don't care, V-Cinema, Tokusatsu fan club special. Do something.
A hyper battle video.
Yes, give them their time to shine, please.
Garen and Lancer special, let's go!
Let's fucking do it. I know you're fucking listening, so goddamn do it. We want it.
But, like, the biggest problem with Geats is its story structure. Yes, it was cute that, like, they're basing it off Fortnite Battle Royales, where it's just round after round of the same game. But the problem is, every time the reset happened, nothing that happened the previous several episodes mattered anymore.
Yeah.
Every bit of character development they went through was either not significant enough or was significant in the moment but was then completely undermined by some new development that came along. Like, the DGP as an idea was interesting for the first maybe third of the show tops. And it really diluted riders' identities when all of their forms and belts were modular and interchangeable, and it was really fucking annoying that Geats would get his hands on everyone else's power-ups before they themselves got to use it. And, like, the first time Monster showed up, Geats literally one-punched the giant fucking Cactus Shimado and murdered it in one shot, and then Punkjack shows up and is completely fucking clowning useless with it.
Yep.
Imagine if they had actually done what King-Ohger's doing, where there had been a change of the guard, so to speak, like somewhere in the show.
Yeah.
Do you think that would have helped it?
Maybe, but just like the constant distractions by like all of the game show style gimmicks, it's all fine for the early show where we're still in what is this show's equivalent of Monster of the Week territory. But when it came time for actual plot development to happen around the halfway point and through the rest of the show, what they gave us was shallow and wholly unsatisfactory. And like it was said earlier, then they started introducing the people from the future and we started learning all about them, but they never really showed us who they were in any satisfying capacity. We were just supposed to take what they told us at face value and never actually saw it. They were supposedly able to customize themselves and have all these amazing like advancements and like society is perfect and everyone lives their perfect ideal life. Not one frame showing us if that was actually true.
Yep.
And like, oh man, like there's so many things that I wanted to mention while you guys were talking, and they're all jumbled in my brain, and I should have written this all down. But the problem is, nothing happened in this show that I cared about longer than the time it took for the episode to run.
Yeah.
There were some really great moments. Ace had some god level I predicted you predicting me moments.
5D chess.
Especially that one moment where he lost his memory and then had all the messages behind the posters. That was some god level prediction shit. But the problem is Ace as a character, his development was so shallow and Mary Sue or Gary Stu-esque. Like, he was just this overpowered character, and the only times he was shown to have like a loss, it was immediately undone the next episode. He got retired by Garori and lost his memory. It was undone the next episode. He lost to Buffa, and Buffa had his round of being the Jamashin. That was immediately undone within a couple episodes. Anytime Ace was supposed to experience character development, it was shallow, it was unsatisfying, it didn't last long enough, and he just became this like completely unrelatable character that was supposed to just be amazing at everything. And anytime... it literally devolved into Ace, Michinaga, and Neon standing there looking up at Ace going, wow, that's our god up there. He's cool. He's going to save us all. You know what I mean?
Me? No, I didn't watch the show.
100% agreed. 100% agree.
Like, they all had great moments, but none of them were enough to make them interesting characters overall.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and that is mostly the fault of the structure of the show being, we're playing this game for 7 episodes, now we're resetting and doing this game for 7 episodes, now we're resetting and adding a new rule where there's a traitor, ooh, then we found out the traitor, then we started the next game and nothing we've done up until now mattered. And now the Jamato are rebelling and taking over, oh no!
Yeah, and then like one of the future writers is like, I'm gonna make my own game with blackjack and hookers. It's like, ugh.
And like, the problem with all of the villains through the halfway point of the show to the end of the show, none of them were consistent and explicit enough for what they wanted. Like, it seemed to be like, oh, we're doing this just to please the audience. But then some of them seemed to be like, oh, I want to destroy this world. But then they never really explained why they wanted to destroy the world. Like,
Deathnarok said why.
Yeah. The problem is no one was deep enough character-wise. No one was interesting enough for a long enough period. I'm not wording this as well as it had been in my head leading up until my segment.
I think you're doing a good job of explaining.
No, it's a fair enough statement for you to care. Like, none of them were interesting enough for you to care about the whole picture.
Geats was not amazing. Geats was not terrible. Geats was mid. To put it the way that
yes, exactly. It was mid.
Geats is the most mid Rider show I have ever fucking seen. I don't feel strongly enough about hating it to have written out the amount of paragraphs that I wrote about Dawn Brothers.
It doesn't have that same driving hate.
Geats doesn't make me feel for it enough, even in a negative way.
So what you're saying
is more fucking memorable.
Zeo got more anger out of me than Geats did.
I mean, I guess that's something. Like, emotion is something versus nothingness.
Yeah, at least with Dawn Brothers, I will never forget it.
I let the hate fuel me with Dawn Brothers.
Dawn Brothers I'll never forget, yes.
I'm going in circles, so I'm just going to talk about the other characters. I said my bit about Ace. Keiwa, like, man... this was a journey that he did not complete. He was supposed to be like the boy that we all loved and protected. That didn't go anywhere. Then he went through his emo phase, and that was gone in like 5 episodes.
Yep.
Neon, she's the girl. She was always doomed to be unsatisfying narratively. It was inevitable despite how much we hoped against it. And the biggest problem with me with her final form is not the fact that it's not a double-sided buckle like the others. The fact that hers was a one-sided buckle means that she could have combined it with another buckle. We could have gotten like Beat Fantasy as her final form, and that would have been cool because it's versatile. But they didn't even have the balls to commit to that. You know what I mean? At least she could have a different kind of final form.
Was she the... Sure, I always thought Buffa was.
It's really hard to say who's tertiary between Neon and Michi. It interchanged.
They were both.
It interchanged at certain points. The reason I don't think Neon deserves tertiary rider is most tertiary riders have the best stories out of the entire show. Previous examples include Ryugen, Chaser, Snipe, Necrom, other riders like that. Neon's story doesn't even come close to the stories those riders had. But honestly, neither does Buffa's. I think it tries to hit that same echelon of these moody tertiary riders, but it just doesn't fucking reach those heights. Even when Michinaga got what he wanted, when he got to be the Jamashin and just spent a couple episodes kicking every rider's ass with his cheat god powers, it was just like, all right, cool, you got what you wanted. Now what? We still have another 20 episodes left. What are you going to do? And the answer was literally become a disciple of Ace and do nothing else of significance.
Buffa sounds good on paper.
Buffa is a good...
executed in...
Buffa made a very excellent early series rival because there was reason for him to oppose Ace. He was annoyed by his antics. He kept losing to him. It made a really, really good rivalry for the early show. But then, after the rivalry started to dissolve, there was not much left for Michinaga to do. Punk Jack
basically just exists.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
He basically just existed to be another hand in big fights.
Yeah.
When big story fights were happening, he was part of the party because he's in Team Protagonist.
He's the fighter of the 4-man Warriors of Light party.
He was the one who was made to look like the tough one.
Yeah, he's the barbarian.
Yeah.
And he's purple, so you don't know if he's good or evil.
Yeah. I don't even know if I want to bother going into detail on the side character. Punk Jack felt like he had a lot of potential to carry the show with his antics, but unfortunately, late game, he was just a complete non-entity.
Yeah.
They made a point of bringing him back, and what the fuck did he do after that? Nothing!
They turned him in... They used him for filler shots.
They used him to get a couple of emotional exposit lines like, oh, Ace did that!
My god!
And he punched a couple of enemies at some point. Like someone else could have.
A couple of action scenes that
and we never saw him henshin again after he came back.
Yeah.
Baroba, I think, made a good villain in terms of being the classic mwahaha kind of villain. But this is just a taste issue for me. I got real sick of her real quick.
Yep, thank you. And now we have to see her again in the Speed Cinema, so I'm like, god damn it.
I think Emily nailed it when she said that Kekara was the most interesting character because
agreed.
Kekara put a fucking lens on the fandom. Describing him as a Gen 1er is the most accurate and hilarious thing I think anyone can ever say about this show. And it's so amazing that like all 4 of the future writers were in a way commentary on writer fandoms. Jean was about over-obsessing. Kyun was about disparaging opinions on the internet over discourse and the fact that people acted differently when they were shielded behind their anonymity. Kekara is about following someone too hard and engaging in a parasocial relationship. And Baroba is just straight up toxic in everything, in every way. I honestly think the future characters are the most interesting ones because of the way that they were literally just anachronisms for fans, for fandoms in general. I think they're the most interesting things of this entire show. And yet, you're right, they are constructs. They were literally constructs. Because they were from the future and they constructed their appearance, they were literally constructs.
And because of that, they have a very organized sort of personality and presence within the narrative. Yes, what they do is interesting based on how they do it, but it is formulaically what you would expect a character like that to do.
Yeah. They lived
like they're very.
They lived an abnormal existence, so getting to experience human society as it is, they're gonna act the way they're gonna act.
Yeah.
And the last character I will talk about, who I hate to a point where I don't even want to talk about him, is Daichi. Holy crap, what an unearned redemption arc. This man
from day one.
This man was annoying from day one, and then went on to commit atrocities. And then we were just supposed to shove it under the rug because he pointed at a bunch of Pikmin and told them to go fight the masked man.
I legit forgot Archie existed until just now. Oh my god.
At least Archie turned out to be kind of sympathetic because he just wanted his creations to exist.
Yeah,
he was sick of
he loved his plant boys.
He was tired of them being manipulated by the DGP staff. He just wanted his plants to live.
Just want to see them grow.
He accidentally some Pikmin, and he just wanted them to Pikmin.
I wanted to make my Yamato grow.
But anyway, like, yeah, so Daichi was annoying. He was an asshole. He was uncooperative. And then went on to commit the greatest atrocities in the entire show, and we were just supposed to forgive him because he helped bring back the person that he orchestrated the murder of.
Congratulations, you just passed award. Like,
undoing your mistake is not making up for it.
You gotta do some more. But it is a start.
It's a start, and I think that if this is something we'll revisit in the movie, that I think the whole like Villains Anonymous metaphor was actually a really good thing, and that actually made me rethink my position on it a little bit. Daichi's redemption is unearned, but it can be earned. It just has not been yet. So, depending on where Geats goes with its movies post-series, maybe my position will change. Currently, I still think he's a fucking asshole who doesn't deserve any of the redemption he's had.
If I would compare it to something, real quick, it would be Orochimaru from Naruto. Like a much more condensed version. Sure. Orochimaru did horrible scientific experiments on a lot of things in the hopes of creating perfect ninja genes that he can put into his body and shit. But he made a lot of genetic modification creations, and he was the villain for a long time. But then in Boruto, he kind of softens and, like, you know, he joins the good side and stuff. But it's like, you know, that
I cannot
I see
picture
that
it.
stark difference. Sure, I understand, but I'll show you later. But
sure.
It's that stark difference between just like war crimes and then suddenly softening. There's a precedent for it. Like it's not the first time they've softened a character like that.
Sure, there's been plenty of those in the past.
Yeah.
But usually they do more to make up for it by this point. You know what I think is a better example, and Chronicle in our chat just mentioned it. I think Thouser's redemption was way better in 01.
Oh, I didn't watch 01 yet.
It's really good. You should watch 01.
So what would your wish be?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't even thought about that. That whole gimmick was my idea, and I didn't even think about it. I wish for a better Rider show.
Ichi, you idiot! You could have wished for a stock henshin sequence.
Yeah, there you go. I wish for...
No, you already did it.
Damn it!
No, you already did it.
Look, we're gonna get one. It's called Gotchard.
So yeah, I think that's...
Alright, well anyways, it's almost fucking 1 in the
I'm
morning.
sorry this episode is so long.
I mean, you're talking about the end of a series. If any episode was going to be long...
These are always long ones.
It was the news.
The news was... There was a lot of news. Anyways, I hope that if you listened all the way through that you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for tuning in, and if you happen to check us out for the first time, thank you for tuning in. As always, the primary source for hijinks is castranger.podbean.com. From there, you can check out our Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, merch store, Discord server, all of our cool shit. Thank you for listening, watching, liking, favoriting, sharing, subscribing, hitting the bell, and going along this journey through Kamen Rider I almost said Geats. What the
The first time you ever made that accident.
Wow. I'm just so ready for Geats to be over. I'm so ready. I'm so excited for tomorrow. We get to watch the new King-Ohger season and Gotchard. I'm so excited.
You know, it's interesting. Yeah. It's the natural progression of things. Fox and Jesus becomes Grasshopper and Train. That old chestnut.
Well, let us know what you thought of Geats and this finale in the comments. Let us know what you thought of the end of King-Ohger Part 1. And let us know what your hopes are going forward in the comments below. Thank you all once again. Apologies again for the extra long episode, but every now and then you gotta do it. Thank you, and we'll see you next week for the start of 2 brand new shows. **.
Good night, Tri-State Area.
Bye.